Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark picks you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited Ultimate and all the storage you need. Get the network you want on the iPhone you love, only on Verizon.
Hey Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month, or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $28,350 or $379 a month, and adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, Mirage, RH 005921, MSRP 19460, Eclipse RZO 342249, MSRP 29350, Outlander RZO 43754, MSRP 33765, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the alarm clocks, wanting to take the 8:15 into the city.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Week is flying by. We welcome you into Sports 56 Mornings on this Thursday, April 18th, 2024. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, it's where family and fun come together. Their spring sale continues. All types of great deals, direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, patio furniture, and so much more. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program is brought to you each and every day by the Big Green Egg. Weather-wise today could be dicey. Right now we're looking at 70 degrees, cloudy skies. Now that'll be followed up by rain, possibly thunderstorms, possibly some hail. Yes, sirree, Bob. That's the forecast for later this afternoon with winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. That chance of rain, 60%. Doesn't mean everybody's going to get hit with a thunderstorm, but keep your eyes open and be alert for that. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then mainly cloudy overnight with thunderstorms likely again. And a few storms may be severe. Low of 58 tonight. Tomorrow, your Friday, looks like it'll be a cloudy day with a high of 67 degrees. Coming up on the program today, at 7:30, it'll be our weekly Showboat Spotlight. Today, we'll talk to Jonathan Adams, wide receiver for the Showboats, who leads the team with 174 yards in receiving, has 13 catches, and he's a former Arkansas State Red Wolf. We'll talk to Jonathan Adams about the Showboats who go into St. Louis this weekend really needing to get a dub after losing their last two. At 8:05, we switch gears. We talk NFL. The draft begins 1 week from tonight. We'll talk with Jeff Kerr, NFL writer for CBS Sports. And then at 9:05, we'll turn our attention to Memphis Tigers basketball. A lot of news, whether it be scheduling news, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, whether it be portal news. Parth Upadhyay, the Tigers beat writer for the Daily Memphian, he'll join us at 9:05. Of course, we'll take your calls and texts as we do each and every day on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. We'll talk more NBA play-in as there were two games last night. One team officially eliminated. It was in the Eastern Conference, both those games. We will discuss that. News from the injury front as far as the NBA postseason is concerned, and news involving Jonte Porter. Not good news for him. Also, Ole Miss basketball lands a big fish in the portal. We'll talk about that as Chris Beard continues to hit hot and heavy as far as portal is concerned. And Memphis 901 FC last night very quietly picked up a huge win for the organization. We'll give you that information in case you missed it. That's all coming up on the program today. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Did you watch the games last night?
I watched the first game. I had no interest in the second game.
You know,
although now with if Jimmy Butler is out, I guess that certainly would give the Bulls a chance against Miami.
I think it does. If Butler is out, he was limping after the game. No word yet on Jimmy's status for that game, but the Miami Heat and the 76ers played a very interesting game, to say the least, because Miami dominated in the first half, and I'm thinking to myself, well, here we are. It's Miami. It's the postseason. Once it becomes play-in/playoffs, Miami seems to put it into another gear. And they led 51-39 at the half. They led by 12 points over the Sixers on the road. Again, not surprising. It's Miami. But here come the Sixers. They cut into that deficit. They eventually take the lead, and they win the game by a point, 105-104. Joel Embiid, again, he hasn't been back long from his injury, but doing Joel Embiid stuff, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. But I thought the supplementary guys really contributed. He got a lot of support. Embiid got a lot of support from Harris with a double-double, from Batum with 20 off the bench. Maxey, of course, is his Robin to his Batman. Tyrese Maxey with 19 points, 6 assists. Even the former Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, Miami Heat guard, contributed in the starting lineup for Philadelphia. So the Sixers edge the Heat, and that means Philadelphia earns the 7th spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs. They will take on the New York Knicks, where they have quickly been installed as the favorite to win that series.
Yeah, the Knicks, obviously, without Julius Randle. That's why in the East, that 7 seed was a very valuable spot. And because you get the Knicks, you also are on that side of the bracket where you could get the Bucks then, and who knows what their situation is going to be with Giannis. So I did not, I got to be honest, I did not see the Nicholas Batum turn back the clock night coming. He was awesome. He just, the dude's always been able to shoot. That's what's kept him in the league as long as he's been in the league. But he was absolutely fantastic last night.
He really was. And again, that's just an added boost because you expect it from Maxey, Tobias Harris. You expect those type of things. You know, Lowry, the proven veteran that he is, obviously he's at the end of his career. But Embiid needed this help. And while he was his usual good, to get the performances that they got from everybody, including Nicholas Batum, helped them hold off the Heat. For Miami, Tyler Hero, who just returned to the lineup a few weeks ago, 25 points, 9 assists. Jimmy had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. He always fills up the old stat line. But again, his injury, who knows if he'll be ready to go in that next game when they take on the Chicago Bulls.
And, I mean, he was clearly hurting. It's interesting. See, you can get an injury and it'll be obvious that you were hurt. Like, you limp and, like, and even after the game, they'll tell you, like, what they think might be wrong. It's an MCL. They think they're fearing that he did damage to his MCL. But he was clearly in a lot of pain, but yet stayed in the game to play. Weird how that could work.
Alluding to, of course, the Zion Williamson injury, which we'll talk about in a second. The late game, and I watched a little bit of it, but Kobe White, 42 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists as the Bulls beat the Hawks 131-116. The Bulls are an interesting organization. You have a lot of talent. Remember, they are missing key players for this team. Now, I don't know the future for Lonzo Ball, whether or not he'll even play again. But he was, at one point, the starting point guard for the Bulls. And now you look at what White brings to the table. He's tremendous. Zach LaVine out and has been out. Yet you still have DeMar DeRozan, who had a strong game in the win. You have Vucevic, who went for 24 and 12 rebounds. DeRozan went for 22 and 9. They have pieces. They just don't have enough pieces. We'll see what they can do off-season wise. But the Bulls, their season continues as they win going away. The Hawks, who are eliminated. Now, that's a team, when they got DeJounte Murray, I said on the show, and I wasn't the only one, that I don't see that one working. Now, I also said that about Doncic and Irving, and may end up working in the long run because they brought in guys like Gafford and P.J. Washington to help with their front line. But with the Hawks, you just Murray and Trae Young, there's too much. One or the other. And I think that's kind of the direction they're going to have to go in the offseason to fix this team. Trae Young missed most of the season with an injury, and Murray put up huge numbers. But last night, for example, here's Trae Young, and again, he hasn't been back long. 22 points, 10 assists, a minus 27. He was a liability when he was out there on the court. And if he's healthy, you're playing Trae Young. Capella was great, 22 points, 17 rebounds. But the Hawks, I'm not saying you implode that team, but you have to absolutely make some moves. And I think it's either Murray or Young. One needs to be on the trading block.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that believe that they are going to move one of the two. Who it ends up being or how they go about doing that, we'll see. But a lot of people, it seems, of the NBA people believe that one of those two guys will be moved this offseason. Kobe White, by the way, we're talking yesterday about the awards. He will get a lot of votes for most improved player and should. I don't know that he'll win it, but he had a terrific year. I think his scoring average went up like 12 points over last year. He's been absolutely incredible. So he is definitely a guy that will be in the top 2 or 3, I would think, for most improved player.
Well, you alluded to the Zion Williamson injury, as people know. Hurt the other night, although we were trying to figure out what was wrong with him as he went off the court, was upset but wasn't showing any kind of labor with his gait or anything like that. Left hamstring strain, and that's why I said, a hamstring, I would think that's what took him out of the game, but he didn't show any signs. With a hamstring, you're usually limping, man, you're in pain. But the word is it's a left hamstring strain. He's out for the game against the Kings, and that probably will end their season. I mean, they can still beat Sacramento, but I think it's going to be really tough without Zion, who was great in their loss. He'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Again, by that time, I think their season will end Friday. But that's the situation it is. Zion stayed pretty much healthy the entire season. We know what he's capable of doing when he stays healthy. And yet, in the final dramatic 3 minutes of that game, he got hurt.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, unfortunate for them, because regardless, even if they beat Sacramento, he's done. He's done for the year because in 2 weeks their season will be over one way or another. I would guess that they probably do lose to Sacramento now. They may want to petition to get the game played in Sacramento since they don't win at home anymore. I don't know if they could petition the league to do that or not. But, yeah, it's he had a great year, and it was great to see him stay healthy. But unfortunate way for it to end for him and for them with that injury. Raider Corey texted. He asked about how the play-in works with the 8 seed. He says, "Asked, do the Bulls have an opportunity to lose a game or not?" No. If you're in the 9-10 matchup, you have to win twice to get in. If you're in the 7-8 matchup, you get 2 chances to win 1 game. So it'll be the Bulls against the Heat for the last spot in the East, and it's 1 game, and it's Sacramento and New Orleans, 1 game for 8 in the West. Last year it was Miami beating the Bulls to get, after losing the 7-8 game, they then beat the Bulls to get into that 8 seed before they made their run to the finals. So this is setting up to repeat itself possibly for Miami. But again, last year they didn't have Jimmy Butler with a possible serious knee injury.
Yeah, that's what Eric Spoelstra's rallying cry is. We did it last year. We can do it again. But I love the format because you have the first 2 games of the play-in in the East and the first 2 in the West, and the only team that's eliminated is that loser of that 9-10 right off the bat in those first games. The other ones either advance into the playoffs or they get a reprieve to be able to play again, and that's what will happen on Friday. The news, not unexpected, Jonte Porter has been banned from the league for life after an investigation revealed he had disclosed confidential information to bettors. He bet on the Raptors. According to reports, he bet on the Raptors to lose. So that is it for Jonte Porter, the former Grizzly great.
There are some levels of stupidity. This might be the highest. I don't understand how you could be this dumb. To throw away, again, he may never have been a regular NBA player, but two-way contract's pretty nice. It's over $500,000. He's obviously got a brother making plenty of money that could support him, whatever. But throwing all of that away for some bets as small as $15, they said, I just don't even, I can't comprehend it. I just don't.
My kind of gambler.
I can't understand how you could be this dumb. It just, whew, man, that is.
It's addictive, brother. That's why they give you a line to call in case you're in dire need of help.
But again, if he's just has to gamble, he could gamble on other sports.
Right.
And he can get his fix if that's what he has to have by gambling on other sports. But again, you're not addicted to telling some other dude, hey, by the way, tonight, bet on my unders because I'm going to leave this game after 3 minutes.
Right.
Make a bunch of money off of me. That certainly isn't addictive. I think there's nothing addictive about that.
I wonder if his brother knew he had a problem. There's nothing to indicate that he knew. I'm just saying that.
I'm assuming I guess if you live with somebody long enough, you should know that they're this dumb.
It's dumb.
It's just stupidity. I mean, it's just flat out stupidity to think you wouldn't get caught or whatever. And the idea that you tell this person, hey, bet on my unders, whatever, and that person goes and bets $80,000 on your unders.
Jonte Porter's under prop bet.
If y'all didn't realize this plan might get caught, it just, again, this is a level of stupidity that is just untoppable. Again, I'm sure there's probably on a normal game when he is actually up with the Raptors, I can't imagine that there's probably all season long there wouldn't have been $80,000 bet on a Jonte Porter line one way or the other. There's no way people are betting on Jonte Porter's over-unders in games. And here in one game, some dude goes and puts an $80,000 same-game parlay in, happens to bet all the unders, and he leaves the game after 3 minutes. Y'all, seriously, you didn't think that might get caught?
Books deal with millions of people and millions and millions and millions of dollars, but they have the ways and the means to be able to flag things. They know when it's something that doesn't seem kosher, and all of a sudden you're getting 80,000, maybe a drop in the bucket to what they deal with on a daily basis. But it's they must be, hey, Jonte Porter, who's that? Is this guy in the league? Somebody just dropped 80 grand on these unders and he left the game in 3. Come on, they know that stuff. They will find out that stuff, and then you will get caught. And that's exactly what happened. So the career for Jonte Porter, at least at the NBA level, is over. The career for Caitlin Clark at the WNBA level is just beginning. And yesterday came news that she is closing in on an 8-figure deal with Nike, which will include her own signature shoe. Again, not a surprise. And for those who are concerned that her salary with the Indiana Fever playing in the WNBA is not what she brings to the table, 1, you're correct. 2, she's making up for it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-fold in what she's going to get from endorsements.
Yeah, I get. And see, like the only thing people keep talking about, like she could have made more money in college, which I still don't, because her NIL deals are all still like she's still got them. she's still doing State Farm, and she's still doing all these.
She's just now a professional.
But now she's picking up other ones on top of it.
Right.
Like, so the idea, like, see, people are like when the salary, whatever, like, see, she should have just stayed in college to make more money.
Ridiculous.
I'm like, no, because she gets that $76,000 or whatever that she wasn't getting in college. But the other deals, it's not like State Farm is getting rid of her because she's now a professional. Oh, no, we only wanted you as a college player. Like, she signed the Gainbridge deal because she's going to the Fever. Like, I don't like the idea that she was going to make more money in college makes no sense.
Not just that, but also the people who said, oh, you got to take Ice Cube's offer. You got to go to the big three. No, you don't. No, you don't. So you go to the big three and get exposed by, 40-year-old men, 45-year-old men. That would happen. Yeah, she'd make a lot of money, but she's going to make more of that money now. And again, it's only a drop in the bucket what she's getting salary-wise. Compared to you and I, sure, that's great money. But compared to professional basketball players at the highest level, it pales in comparison to what certainly NBA players make. And that's understandable. It's understandable where the NBA is, how long it has been in existence, where the WNBA is. Let's not go crazy. It's been a great run for the women, and hopefully that will continue. But it doesn't compare to men overall in the NBA. But she gives the WNBA a shot in the arm, as does some of these other players who got the notoriety as well from the last couple of seasons. But she will make buku money from her endorsements. Speaking of money, the TBT, or TBT as it is, the basketball tournament, the $1 million winner-take-all summer event, announced a multi-year media rights agreement with Fox Sports to carry games on Fox, FS1, FS2. The network will carry 27 TBT games live on linear television, including 3 on Fox. That's a big get for this summer event, which has grown in popularity. The Elam ending is something that people love, and will be around for a while with this kind of backing, seemingly.
Yeah, I mean they were on ESPN. I mean that's always gotten.
But they're more games now.
They've gotten good coverage, and it's always a fun tournament to watch, to see some names that you may not have thought of for a while that are playing in some of those teams. And I love the Elam ending I think is terrific, and I wish more levels of basketball would use it in some form, such as what the G League does in using that as their overtime. I would love to see that be the overtime at every level of basketball. I know it'll never happen, but I dare to dream.
Hey, I like it. I like your thoughts on that. I would like to see that too. The Elam ending, I wasn't sure when it first came into existence. I was like, what is this? And then I grew to love it. I mean, I absolutely love it. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Tigers news from yesterday, and also we'll be joined at 7:30 by Showboat's wide receiver, Jonathan Adams. Folks, you want to get charged up this summer? Come out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and test drive one of the new EV Blazers. It's still Chevy truck season. If you're ready for a new Silverado, all the Silverados, financing down to 2.9% for 72 months, plus thousands in cash and trade. The new Equinox and Trailblazers, 1.9% financing, no payments for 90 days because your good credit deserves it. If you want pre-owned, they have everything you need. Ram trucks, Jeeps, Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverses with that third row seating. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Ask Kevin or Jeff when you're down at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, and they will do their darndest to find it for you. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, you get an extra $500 bonus when you purchase a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Where are you going this summer? What trips are you going to make? What are you driving in? That's the most important thing. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be Olive Branch. Come on out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. What a great time to buy a new or used car or truck and save money at Sunrise. The largest selection in over a year, over 500 new Buicks and GMCs to choose from, an $8 million used car inventory. See them all at sunrisememphis.com. Factory rebates up to $6,000 and Sunrise discounts high as $10,000. Immediate financing available with loans low as 0% on select models. Cars and trucks under $10,000. When it comes to selection and savings, it doesn't get any better than this, partner. Come on in and save some money at Sunrise. Covington, Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice, and you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown Commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts. The best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the Commissary.
Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg at East Memphis Ace. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ready to cook in only 15 minutes with cook temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between. Change your at-home cooking experience for life with our unmatched, authentic wood-fired grill flavor that has our customers raving. Get your Big Green Egg and all our accessories at East Memphis Ace on the corner of South White Station and Quince Road.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Starting to pick up even more in the last few minutes over here on 240 East up by Poplar. It's not the worst we've ever seen it before, but it's starting to get a little bit crowded up and down. Certain sections of 240 looks good. 240 at Mill Branch as that traffic continues to build up through South Haven. On 55 going northbound, all the traffic flow coming up from the south. They're out of DeSoto County arriving here into South Memphis. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Yes, it's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:28 is the time. Do you know what a brace is in soccer?
Yeah, if you get injured, you put a brace on. And soccer players get injured a lot. So
well, some fake the injuries.
So much like it, they also stretcher is used a lot in soccer. They have to get them off the field with the stretcher quite a bit.
I had no idea that a brace in soccer means a player who scores 2 goals in a game. And last night, over at AutoZone Park, our buddy, friend of the show, Knight Pickering, scored both of the goals for Memphis 901 FC as they won 2-0 over Miami United FC and advanced to the round of 32 in the U.S. Open Cup. So even though they have been struggling in the USL Championship, and they'll play again Saturday at home, they win last night, and they'll find out today at noon as they'll have the announcement, a live drawing actually, to see who they will play next, when they will play, I guess where they will play. But congratulations to Knight Pickering and Memphis 901 FC for a win last night as he put 2 goals on the board, got himself a brace, and it wasn't the bad one.
David texted. He knew that. He knew that right away.
I had no idea.
2 goals is a brace. I had braces when I was a kid.
Did you have braces?
Yes, I had braces.
Never had to deal with the braces. I assume 3 goals is still a hat trick, like it is in everything else. I would think that would be the same for soccer as it is for hockey, right? Assume that would be a hat trick, but I had no idea. What would be a 4-bagger? I know in bowling, right? 4 in a row, you'll go 4-bagger. What about 4 goals in a game? Has Messi ever done 4 goals in a game? Ronaldo ever scored 4 in a game?
It's a double brace.
Is it a double brace?
Brace squared. I be braces. It's just braces.
Yeah, there you go.
Every 2 is a brace, so you're just that's braces.
Well, congratulations, nevertheless, whatever you want to say, however you want to call it, whatever it is about brace, whether you knew it or not, 2 goals for Knight Pickering and the victory for Memphis 901 FC.
A texter, by the way, says they'd like to see Caitlin Clark in the NBA 3-point contest.
I would too.
I think that there's probably a pretty darn good chance that just like we had Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionescu this past year, that they will try and do something with Caitlin Clark this coming season. I would guess that Caitlin Clark will be in, whether it's in the 3-point contest or whatever, Caitlin Clark will be involved in NBA All-Star Weekend next year. I would be pretty confident in that.
I don't think there's any question. I just worry about being oversaturated with Caitlin Clark. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. As I mentioned, we got plenty of Tigers basketball news from yesterday, but without further ado, it's time for our Showboat Spotlight. The Showboats back in action this Saturday, an early kickoff, 11:30 a.m. as they'll play in St. Louis. And the Showboats, after their loss to Birmingham last weekend, now 1-2 on the season. We are very pleased to be joined by Showboats wide receiver Jonathan Adams, who you can follow on Twitter at It's J Adams, the pride of Jonesboro, former Arkansas State Red Wolf, joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. So let's talk about the team so far through 3 games. You get off to the great start. You win the first game on the road. A real tough loss in that second game, which really, I would imagine, is hard to overcome, but you have to do that. And then you go down and play Birmingham, which has just been the dominant team in the old USFL, and now, of course, still, I think, in this new UFL. Now, all of a sudden, your backs are against the wall. How pivotal is this game Saturday in St. Louis?
This game is big, because it's obviously the next game. So, every game is a big game that we play. But, we're just going to treat this game like any other game. We just got to get back to the basics this week. And, just go back and do what we're good at. Just play fast, put everything together in all phases, and just do what we do. We go out there and play the best we can. Definitely got to overcome this hump, though, this week.
this off season, we had New Orleans when the merge happened. New Orleans is no longer going to be a franchise in it. Were you excited for the fact that you got picked up by Memphis with the fact that it's right down the road from home in Jonesboro?
Yes, I was excited. I was in no contact with Flip. I didn't know things going on and stuff like that. But once I heard he was doing a coaching change and things like that, I was kind of excited. Hopefully he was going to get me, and I knew it was like right down the street from home. So I knew like family can get there fast as the games. They always come to Birmingham, watch them play and stuff like that. So coming right across the bridge eventually would be even better. So I got definitely excited about that.
What is Coach Flip like?
Coach Flip, he's a good coach. He's a high energy coach. He make sure we're good and everything. He puts us in a good position. He's always in tune with the game, like in practice and everything like that. So he's one of those high energy guys. Practice, gonna work hard, but he also gonna take care of us.
How many, by the way, family and stuff did you have at the first home game?
I probably had like 20 to 40 tickets. I think that first home game.
Like I said, it's a little easier drive than going all the way to Birmingham. Not that Birmingham's a really long drive, but certainly is nice. For you in this offense, now working with Case Cookus as your quarterback, what's that been like, kind of developing that chemistry with a new quarterback?
It's been good, over the past offseason, with the offense kind of the same with me a little bit. Got a couple changes and stuff, so I'm kind of familiar with the offense already, kind of from last year. Pace actually picked up her fast and everything like that, so the chemistry's been good, and me and him and Daywood, it's been pretty good, and it only get better, so he's going to keep dialing things up and just keep building stuff brick by brick every day, and by the time it ends, we'll be for that championship game, get this stuff together.
You got 13 catches so far in 3 games, which is good. You lead the team in receiving yardage at 174. Have yet to get into that end zone. And I know last week there were a lot of issues with protection for Cookus. I'm sure that has been an emphasis this week on things that you guys can do to make sure your quarterback stays upright and he can deliver passes to you guys.
Oh, yes, sir. That's what's the emphasis. We try to just, control, and our O-line they don't get that together. I believe in those guys, and Case believe in those guys, and they're gonna do what they have to do. Coach Turner, the offensive line coach, I was with him for the last 3 years, third year offensive line coach, and he does a good job with those guys. And we're gonna get together and know those guys. We're gonna figure it out. So no problem at all, and we're gonna have a good rest of the season.
When you came out of high school and were making your college decision, what went into to end up playing at Arkansas State right there in your hometown where your dad played as well? Did you consider other places, or did you want that opportunity to play right there in the hometown?
Coming out of college, coming out of high school, I wasn't kind of recruited highly, which I was like around the Arkansas area, which a lot of people know me, but like as far as like, national-wise, which I had a lot of interest, stuff like that, but I didn't have only, like, a couple offers, 3 offers or something like that coming out of high school. So, I was kind of like so basically it was like all 3, I think it was Arkansas State, UCA, and, like, SEMO or something like that. So it's really only 3 offers. So Arkansas State was definitely one of the top priorities. They offered me, like, my first year of high school. So, I was sitting on that for a while trying to see what was going on. But definitely made the right decision, being hometown. My dad went there as well, so, a lot of family can come see me as well. And I also have my kid. I have a son. I had him my freshman year of college on my first game. So that was a good experience and stuff, going through college and having my son and everything like that, being at home.
So then you end up having a great college career. Your last year, you're the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year. Did you think because of the career, and especially that final year you had, were you expecting to get drafted into the NFL?
Yes, always, definitely that was one of the things you want to do, worked hard all my life, so you definitely expected that. But, being, the last couple of years, the last years I've been there, we had some big-time names there at Arkansas State, and, they didn't get drafted. You know, I had Omar Bayless, Kurt Merritt ahead of me, receivers. I had some more like DNs a couple of years ago, things like that, you know, coming out. So it's like, no, they didn't get drafted from Arkansas State. But, you know, I thought I had a shot as well, but, you know, obviously it didn't happen. But, grateful for the opportunity Detroit gave me with the undrafted free agency. I mean, with the undrafted stuff, it was a blessing. So, you know, I'm glad it all worked out how it did. You know, God was always on my side, and everything worked out how it's supposed to work.
Well, you got the size, you got the speed, you got the hands. You're not old. Do you still think you can get an opportunity? Because this is what this league does, it showcases players like yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, past couple of years, you know, USFL leagues, I had like workouts after the season, you know, which with a couple teams and stuff like that. So definitely I'm still young and everything moving good. Lost some pounds and stuff, moving faster than I have the last couple of years. You know, moving better than the last couple of years. So definitely think I still have an opportunity to get back in the league.
Did you play in Memphis against the University of Memphis when you were at Arkansas State?
Yes, that was my last year of college. Last year, my senior year, we played. I think my first game. Played in the first game at Memphis.
Did you have a big game?
First game. Yeah, I think I probably. I want to say like maybe 70 yards. I don't know. I can't really give you exact numbers, but it was a pretty decent game.
Well, I guess yeah. If it was in your final year, it had to be a big game. I think every game in your final year was a big game.
Yeah, it's definitely a decent game. I'm pretty sure I had a decent game. But
was that the only time in your career at Arkansas State you guys played Memphis?
Yes, that was the only game we played Memphis, and then we also played. You know, that was a COVID year, so we had a lot of double games that was canceled and stuff during COVID.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So we played Kansas State that year as well. You know, that was the only game that was on Fox that year. That was a breakout game for me right there.
What's it been like for you guys? And I know last year, obviously, you weren't playing with Memphis. Now you're playing with the Showboats, but the Showboats are only in Memphis for games. You're in Arlington where all the teams are. It's still a little bit strange. What's it like for you guys all together down in Arlington?
It's good. You know, we don't see really the other teams, but, you know, it's the only difference is really just it's just more driving here down in everything else the same. We got beach facilities at the football field, the complex with marketing rooms and everything. So it's been all good. You know, we got to make an adjustment sometimes, you know, with the times of field, which we share the field, St. Louis Battlehawks and stuff like that. So we get get out the field, practice fast, get out the field and stuff like that. So they can get on the field. So this week we have we get out the field faster, you know, so they can have their time, respecting their time and everything like that. So they can get their work in. But other than that, it's really just getting there, wherever people stay, just getting the traffic and stuff like that. You know, Dallas is way bigger than Birmingham.
Right.
So how old's your son then?
My son is 6. He'll be 7 in September.
Okay. Is he going to be a football player too?
I think he's gonna do it all. You know, he likes football. He's actually in soccer and also baseball as well. He's actually fast. So we're gonna see if he's gonna get him a growth spurt later on. So right now he just fast on his feet right now.
Because you were a really good basketball player too, right? You played basketball at Arkansas State too, didn't you?
Yes, so I went out there my I was going to get injured or something, so they didn't want to really play me that much. So, you know, I kind of just went to stick to football, you know.
Right.
Kind of wasting my time out there.
Well, I think it's the right thing to do for your son is to let these kids go out there and play a bunch of different sports and let them do what they want to do. And then, you know, if they want to zero in on just the one sport, that's fine. If they want to play multiple sports, I think that's great.
Oh, yeah. But that's my son. He's a smart kid. So it's like whatever he wants to do, he can do. If he don't want to play sports, you know, he don't have to.
Absolutely.
Sport. And that's why I play sports right now. So, you know, I can set him up to do what he wants to do, you know, for the rest of his life.
That's great. We want to wish you nothing but the best, Jonathan. Again, the Showboats in action this Saturday, an early kickoff in St. Louis. There'll be a big crowd for their Battlehawks as they'll take on the Showboats. He is Jonathan Adams. You can follow him on Twitter at @It'sJAdams. Jonathan, thank you so much and best of luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I thought he was dynamite at Arkansas State. I really thought he was making the NFL.
That last year, I mean, Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year. Like, You would think just that if you're as a receiver, the offensive player of the year in any conference, like you'd think that's going to get you drafted at some point.
Yeah, it's just it's a peculiar thing with football. Basketball, I think more guys get opportunities, even though there's more positions in football and there's more roster spots in football. If you're a wide receiver, you're a wide receiver, and you're going to have to be better than the other guys in camp. I mean, it's pretty obvious that there's only a select amount of wide receivers on each team, and if there's something that you struggle in, and I know that this guy has the size and the speed. I don't know his injury history or anything like that. He has really good hands. Again, leads the team currently through 3 games with 13 catches. He's their big, deep down the field threat. But if Cook if he doesn't get time in the pocket to be able to heave that ball to Adams, I mean, he's not going to be getting to the end zone. That's something they have to fix quickly.
He's had probably at least 3, I know, deep balls that would have been big plays that he drew pass interference. Like he had the guy beat,
there you go.
And they've basically tackled him before the ball got there. Like he could have another, easily over 100 more yards or like there's been some big plays that they've had opportunities that have turned into pass interference penalties. So, but he's been open a lot, and he talked about that. The Memphis game, he actually had 6 catches for 65 yards. And then the next week when they played at Kansas State, he had 8 for 98 and 3 touchdowns. But he had that year, his last year against Georgia State, 15 catches for 177 and 2 touchdowns.
Wow. So Blake Anderson was his coach.
Yes.
Correct? And the quarterbacks, I forget, was that when they had the 2 guys that alternated? And I forget their names. They both ended up transferring. One, I think, to Utah State. And those guys put up big numbers, those quarterbacks. And they, when you have a target like Adams, especially a guy who is better than, I think, Sunbelt athletes. I mean, I think he was one of the top players in that league. As you mentioned, the accolades he got, the awards he won, that he probably should have had an opportunity to play at a bigger program in a bigger conference, but wasn't recruited out of high school. This was prior to the portal, right? This is prior to what we have now in college sports. I would bet if this guy was starting his career now and still wasn't recruited heavily, that he would be one guy, even though we talked about the Sun and all that, that would get opportunities NIL-wise to transfer to a bigger program, get more exposure, and maybe make it at that next level. Although teams can find players and cracks and crevices everywhere, I thought Adams was a shoo-in NFL wide receiver. I'm just hoping maybe he'll still get that opportunity.
Yeah, his last year in 10 games, 79 catches, over 1,100 yards, and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And that didn't even get drafted.
Right.
And he had 6'3". Like, it's not like he's a 5'8" guy or something like that. Like, he's 6'3", putting up those numbers, and somehow that didn't get drafted. It's absolutely crazy to think that. This time of our program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. It's the best grill there is, and the last grill you'll ever need to buy. They come with the lifetime warranty. The ceramic grills, which are absolutely amazing for whatever it is you want to do. Maybe you're looking to smoke some ribs for hours upon hours at a low heat. Well, that's very easy to do with the Big Green Egg. Maybe you need to fire it up to 700 degrees to sear that steak. Well, that's very easy to do as well. Maybe you want to make a pizza, or maybe you want to bake, whatever it is you're looking to do. The Big Green Egg, the versatility allows you to do it. And again, the lifetime warranty as well on that grill. Plus all the egg accessories, from the charcoal to the rubs and sauces and everything else that you need. Big Green Egg, they have all of that for you. Go to biggreenegg.com to get all the information you need. You can go to Ace Hardware locations here in town to find the Big Green Egg. Hamilton Fireplace carries the Big Green Egg as well. Check them out, the Big Green Egg.
This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Mugshots Grill and Bar in Collierville is now open, and the ribbon cutting is April 25th. You could win free burgers for a year by following Mugshots on Facebook. Make sure to like, tag 2 friends, and share. One lucky winner will get free burgers for a year, a $675 value, no purchase necessary at Mugshots Grill and Bar, 656 West Poplar. Come by for half-price happy hour, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, with domestic drafts and $3 snacks. Mugshots Grill and Bar, now open in Collierville, and always having a good time.
All 650 acquisition B, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P560 3393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Hey, baseball fans, go yard with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. All season long, we're offering top odds on your favorite home run bets, shared 50K Grand Slam jackpots, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Whether you want to combine multiple bets for the chance at a bigger payout or place a live bet as the game unfolds, BetMGM has all the home run betting options you could need. Download the BetMGM app, head to the ballpark, and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. Tennessee only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe in 2024. We can't wait to serve you.
Hey, Jason, my main man, Marshall, what's up over there at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike?
Well, Randy, we know that one size doesn't fit all at Gossett Volkswagen, so we've got a take-your-pick offer that covers all the bases.
Well, everybody I know, including me, loves choices. So, Jason, what do you got?
How about a 2024 Taos S, 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport? Take your pick for $279.99 a month. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports. Or get a brand new 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SE for only $33,988. And no reasonable offer will be refused.
Ask for Jason, the main man, Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike, or online at GossettVWMemphis.com.
That's Gossett Volkswagen on Covington Pike, where we're charging forward and charging less every day.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103,910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cross Sport RC 236,449, MSRP 38,981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. 7:53 the time. So yesterday, more news on the Tigers basketball schedule, which ironically we had Jeff Crane on Tuesday or Wednesday. Jeff Crane. Tuesday, right? and he was talking about the schedule, although he's not directly involved in the basketball scheduling. Obviously, he knows what's going on and talked about some other things on the horizon. We had discussed the schedule, which is coming together very nicely, which will include a lot of non-conference road games or neutral court games, like in the case of the Maui Classic. But now they've added some home games. In fact, they will rekindle their long-standing relationship and series with Ole Miss. Last year, Ole Miss winning against Memphis at the Pavilion. They have reached an agreement on a new home and home. That was reported, I believe, first by Jason Munns. I'm trying to give everybody their due, their just rewards here. I think Jason was first on the Ole Miss story. So that will begin in Memphis this year for the 24-25 season, and then in Oxford for 25-26. But also Mississippi State on the schedule, and I think it was John Rothstein who had that first. Also, they'll play in Memphis at FedEx Forum this upcoming season, 24-25. And then the return favor for Memphis, they'll head to Starkville in 25-26. So, again, SEC schools, which has been a recurring theme on Penny's schedules. Regional games, which make a lot of sense. Fans for both sides can travel to the venues to watch these games. And Memphis needed to add some prominent non-conference games for this upcoming season to their home schedule. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I love this. I absolutely love it. I think they should play Ole Miss every year, and they have been, and I think that will continue. But to add Mississippi State as well, I think is absolutely fantastic. Been a long time since Mississippi State has come to Memphis to play the Tigers. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. There will be a lot of misses at FedEx Forum this year, though.
Well, hopefully not on the court.
Well, they'll be on the court.
Well, they'll be on the court, but you know what I mean.
You got Ole Miss, you got Mississippi State, and you got Missouri. So the three big schools coming in, they all start with MISS. I don't know if there's any others out there. I guess Missouri State you could get. I don't know if there's any, but they are going for the misses.
Mississippi Valley State. But Rick Stansbury, assuming again Rick's back, and I think he will be on Penny Hardaway's staff, a longtime head coach at Mississippi State. So you think about the schedule really coming together. Also, I found out yesterday, because I had said, I speculated that when we heard the news of UNLV and the home and home that was reported there, that it makes sense because Penny had already added San Francisco, that they'll go out to Maui, right? They'll stop at UNLV, they'll stop in San Francisco, they'll go to Maui. It makes sense. I've heard that, no, it's a separate trip. UNLV will be a separate game where they'll head to Sin City this upcoming season, and then the following season, UNLV will return the favor and come to Memphis. So that's what I heard about that trip. We'll have a lot more on the schedule, a lot more on portal news when Parth Upajai joins us at 9:05 in studio. And one of the newest Tigers, Colby Rogers, the transfer from Wichita State. He is scheduled to join us tomorrow on the show at 8:30, so we're looking forward to that. Speaking of basketball, speaking of shooting the basketball, do you want to become a better shooter? Whether you're playing high school ball, AAU ball, junior leagues, whatever the case may be, or you're just out there on Sunday mornings, you got a basketball court at your house, and you just go out there and shoot. Well, practice makes perfect. But also, when you have the technology, you have the instructors, you have the know-how, the analytics, it makes perfect sense. And that's what it's all about at Shoot 360 Memphis. Perfect your shot, challenge yourself, compete with others, learn the proper ways to shoot the basketball using modern analytics. So this goes out to all you parents out there, grandparents, coaches. You have sons and daughters and grandchildren and players on your team. You want them to become better shooters. This is the way to do it. You need to contact Shoot 360. This is the same system that stars such as Steph Curry use. And that's true. It's a revolutionary training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with expert coaching to improve shooting skills. The facility is equipped with advanced shooting machines that provide real-time feedback on shooting accuracy and arc and depth. Players can track their progress and analyze their performance. They can go up against others around the country at other Shoot 360 venues. It is one of the coolest things I've ever seen when I've gone out there. So do yourself a favor and visit them. Let them give you the tour, show you the place. Now, they're in Collierville right now. They are in the midst of moving to Cordova to a big state-of-the-art facility. And right now, they are taking registrations for that move. It will open on June 1st. So get involved right now. Contact them. Find out more about them at Shoot 360 Memphis. You can go online or you can call them at 901-316-5500. That's 901-316-5500. Get your shot on. Become a better shooter at Shoot 360 Memphis. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GEAR for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year no dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so
I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like, I couldn't do pull-ups. I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's really starting to get a little bit heavy now over here on 240 East up by Poplar. Same thing on 40 westbound from, let's say, Germantown Parkway up to Sycamore View Road. That has really increased just in the last few minutes. We've actually been in pretty good shape so far this morning as far as serious accidents go out here on the major interstate routes. A little bit of traffic coming off the interstate there onto Sam Cooper coming inbound. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome in. If you're just tuning in, hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Thursday, April 18th, 2024 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. 71 degrees, cloudy skies, and we're looking at the possibility of some storms today. The risk of severe weather is low, but there is that possibility. Gusty winds, small hail, all possible this afternoon with showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, and that will continue into tonight and into the overnight hours. Your Friday looks to be cloudy and about 67 degrees. James Gaddis Jewelers is the second-hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings, located at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They are your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. So looking to pop the question this spring, this summer, looking to get hitched, you need to head on over to James Gaddis Jewelers and see what James has to offer as far as beautiful engagement rings, wedding rings, personally designed wedding sets, but for all your jewelry needs, watches and custom-made jewelry, gemstones of all types, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. It's James Gaddis Jewelers. Again, 4900 Poplar in the heart of East Memphis between Mendenhall and St. Nick. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com. Well, we're getting excited because next week is the NFL draft, and right now there's a lot of banter, a lot of speculation, people throwing in different ideas for trades and things of that nature. So why not talk a little bit more about that? Why not speculate a little bit more? And we do so with a guy who knows football like the back of his hand. He is NFL writer for CBS Sports, Jeff Kerr. He also covers the Eagles. He's out of Philly. Love when we get the Northeast guys on, me being from New Jersey and all. You can follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff Kerr CBS, and he joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. Oh, by the way, I am also the guy who never does mock trades in mock drafts. So, I can't. It's hard for me to speculate on something we have no idea what's happening, right?
I love that because I'm trying to bring up on the internet here as we bring you on. Some just give me the order. Just give me the plain order, and I got like trades and trades and trades. I'm like, okay, let me see who really has that pick at number 3 and number 4 to make sure I can get thoughts from Jeff that are not the wrong team. It is crazy how much speculation there is, but it's an exciting time, right? It always is as we get ready for the draft, and the quarterbacks always take center stage. How many quarterbacks do you think are going to go in the first round?
So this is a funny story. So we were doing at CBS, a bunch of us got together, and my buddy Cody Benjamin decided to do. He had the whole group get together and do unpopular opinions about the draft and maybe the first round or a player you have. Mm-hmm. And I said 6 quarterbacks are going to go in the first round. And I said, but it shouldn't. Like in my opinion, there's probably only 2 or 3 like good quarterbacks in this draft. Like I'm talking about that deserve to be picked where they are. And then the rest of them, they're just getting picked because teams need quarterbacks, and the free agent crop of quarterbacks is god awful. So I still don't get the J.J. McCarthy hype, and I watched J.J. McCarthy the last 2 years. I still don't get it.
I'm with you. And don't they panic, right? Teams, I guess, would panic thinking, oh, if we don't get one of those quarterbacks that are right number 4, number 5, number 6, and as far as projected quarterbacks, if we don't get them in the first round, we may lose out, and then we're in trouble.
I think that's what it is. And you look at, okay, well, this guy is clearly the 4th best quarterback on the board. We should draft him. But are you really going to pass on Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze for J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. I feel like I would just draft a receiver and play the long game, and maybe you stick next year and you can get a better quarterback.
Right. I'm in agreement.
Do you believe Caleb Williams is like going to be a good NFL quarterback?
I do, actually. For one, I love the situation he's going in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's funny saying that about the Bears, but you have DJ Moore, you have Keenan Allen, you have Khalil Herbert, you have DeAndre Swift. I think you need a tight end. I think you need to improve a little bit on the offensive line, although they have worked on that. But it does feel like he's in a very ideal situation, and I'm one of those I'm not a watch the tape guy, but I have to watch his tape. And there are some throws he makes on the run. There are some plays he makes in the pocket, some decisions he makes. I'm just like, wow, like this guy got all the tools. It feels like when Trevor Lawrence was coming out, right? Just how good he was. I like the situation. I think that's a guy that can turn that franchise around. Oh, by the way, the Bears also have the number 9 pick in the draft, so they can add on to that if one of the receivers fall or at the deep tackle draft, so maybe they can fix that. So, I'm rooting for the kid. I know a lot of the off-season speculation and everything that's happened to him over last year, but I just think that's the NIL era more than anything else.
I saw, I guess there was the Washington, I guess, is hosting like all the other quarterbacks this week. What the hell have they been doing up to this point? Like, why this week are they finally getting these guys in there?
So it was funny. I'm sitting next to Dan Quinn at the owners' meetings, like right next to him. And Dan just looks at me specifically. I didn't even ask him the question because if you guys know what we're going to do at number 2, please tell me. And I kind of laughed because I'm like, I know they know what they're going to do, but they're not going to give anything. But yeah, the 49ers have done this too when Adam Peters was there. It was, let's bring all the players in together all the top and see how they interact with each other. And I think it's more of trying to get into the mental state of these guys. Personally, I think the number 2 pick is going to be Jaden Daniels, and I don't think they should hesitate on that. But yeah, it's a different approach for sure, but I think it's an approach that most successful organizations are doing. It feels weird, but each one is, okay, like top 30 visits end this week. Let's just get them all in to get them all in, and we'll see what happens.
Well, you just made the point a moment ago about the quarterbacks and that you think there's 3, and who knows, it may end up being 6, right, that are taken in the first round. I assume your other one is Drake May. So tell me the differences that you believe, and it's obvious what Jaden Daniels can do and Drake May does, but why is Daniels the pick over Drake May?
You know what? To me, I just think it's, and again, they're both dual threat quarterbacks, right? But I just feel like Daniels has that pedigree of working with NFL caliber players. Like he's played with Brian Thomas. He's played with, Malik Neighbors. He's played with these good receivers. He knows how to, and his ascension from where he was at 2 years ago to now is just incredible. I think he's scratching the surface of what he can do. And I don't know. He just reminds me of a guy that he's got the size, he's got the frame, and Look, I love the dual threat quarterbacks. I love how they can take off, and Drake May is definitely one of those guys. But if I'm Washington, I'm looking at the guy with better arm talent, which I do think Daniels has over May. And again, I'm not a quarterback savant here or anything, but I just like to look at their demeanor on the field. And Daniels did play some big-time football over the last, and maybe this is my SEC over ACC bias right now, but he played some big-time football over last year. I don't know. It's one of those guys like you just watch the games and you're like, oh, that guy. And again, Drake May, love the player, hate where he might go. If he goes to New England, I'm probably going to lose my mind, which will probably happen.
Who, regardless of position, obviously we talk about the quarterbacks, but there's obviously some great receivers. Like, who do you feel is like the most can't miss prospect in this draft?
You know what? If somehow Marvin Harrison isn't going to be a top 3 pick in this draft, and I completely understand why, but how do you just pass on Marvin Harrison? As someone who watches a lot of Big Ten football and watched him just dominate my alma mater over the last couple of years, do people realize Marvin Harrison played with like the worst crop of quarterbacks I've seen out of Ohio State in a long time, and still was able to put up like 18 yards a catch and just make plays to carry that offense? And again, love Neighbors, love Duzier. They are not better than Marvin Harrison. They're just not. And I think C.J. Stroud said it best. Like, what are you guys watching? And, that's why I love C.J. Stroud. Like, he knows firsthand what it's like to throw to Marvin Harrison. So, yeah, that's the guy to me. That's the guy, like, if we were doing, like, a real draft, like, of just best overall players, he's probably number 1 overall.
Well, and there's also some decent bloodlines there. He may know something about playing the position.
Yeah. I mean, his father was only what? Is he in? I always forget. Is Senior in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? I can't remember.
Yes, he got.
Marvin, okay. Yes. So there. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. It's not like that. This guy stinks, right? And we're going to say the same thing next year when Deion's kid's in it. That when people are going to criticize him, like, he still is the son of Deion Sanders. I think he knows how to play football.
Sure. Where's your alma mater, Jeff? Which school did you go to?
Penn State.
You went to Penn State. Okay.
So Ohio State has been beating us for years.
Oh yeah, well I went to Maryland. They've been beating Maryland too, pretty mercifully, and so has Penn State, and so has Michigan. And don't get me started. Marvin Harrison Jr. though, if Arizona stays at 4 and none of the other 3 above them decide to go outside of the quarterback, which they probably won't. Harrison in Arizona with Kyler Murray. Do they have the right quarterback throwing him the ball?
They believe they do. I think they look at it as, and again, this is from talking to John Fagan at the owners' meetings. I think they feel them having Kyler Murray is better than any alternative right now, and they're paying Kyler Murray. And I think with Kyler Murray's healthy, he's the top 15 quarterback in the league. So that's not a bad thing to have.
Right.
And I think truly, I thought they were a better football team when Kyler Murray was healthy last year. He just didn't have anything around him. Now say you add a Marvin Harrison, assuming they stay at 4. That's the question I want to present to you guys. We're like mocking draft trades here. Do you think they really should trade out of 4?
No.
Not if Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be there.
Right. If he's there, you got to grab him.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody goes, well, the Vikings will trade up to 4. They'll draft McCarthy. I'm like, they can't do that with the Chargers. They can't do that with the Giants. So, I mean, if someone gives them like a Ricky Williams type deal, yeah, sure, I do it. But how do you pass on Marvin Harrison?
Yeah, if I can get Marvin Harrison Jr., because I'm with you too. Like that dude is a freak, and if I could get him at number 4, yeah, I'm not even. I know there's a lot of other good receivers that you might be able to get later on, but I think, as you said, Marvin Harrison is the guy that like I would be shocked if he's not a star in the NFL. So if I can get him at number 4, I'm absolutely doing it. Who do you think? Before we get to the draft, free agency, everything else, what team do you think's had the best off season?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, the Texans had a really good one. They're one of the first teams that come to mind. I mean, they were able to get Danielle Hunter. They traded for Stephon Diggs. And again, we'll see how the whole Diggs conundrum, if that lasts in Houston. But again, he's only going to be there a year, so who knows? I thought they had a really good all season. Just looking around the league. Are
people in Philadelphia ecstatic with the Saquon move?
Yeah, they are, actually. I think it's more of, and look, I was pretty much on the end with Saquon going to the Eagles. I've known, kind of a lot of connections to Barkley for a while. He wanted to stay close to home. And he grew up a Jets fan, but Jets have a running back. And I don't really think he was too keen on playing in MetLife anymore, understandably so. And I know there was interest in his camp on going to Philly, and I think the Eagles said, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do it. This guy's a 3-down back. it's just another piece to an offense that's already good. So, yeah, I did think the Eagles had a good offseason, but then they traded Tom Reddick. So, they created a problem they didn't need to have, and they're so vile when you ask them about trade. Like, how dare you criticize us for trading Hassan Reddick? I'm like, calm down. Like, you guys are the ones that didn't want to pay him for 1 year and then just let him walk. So, you know what? Since we're talking about the Jets, had a really good offseason. Look at the guys they added: Mike Williams, Hassan Reddick. Those are just two of the things they got. I really like what the Jets did. I could say Eagles had a good offseason. By the way, did the Cowboys sign anybody yet? Outside of Royce Freeman?
Yeah, I know
Royce Freeman.
I know who had a bad offseason. Who's had a bad offseason? As a Cowboys fan, I know exactly who's had a bad offseason. That is for sure.
But at least,
by the way, did you hear about what Stephen Jones said? Well, we spend money all the time. I'm like, that's not what they want to hear right now.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't believe that. But then again, you expect that from the Joneses.
By the way, with the Eagles getting Bryce Huff and re-signing Jake Elliott, they're kind of becoming Memphis's team up there. I guess they're going to get those former Memphis Tigers.
So here's a funny story about Jake Elliott. I talk to Jake Elliott a lot. I still tell anybody that's willing to listen to me, Jake Elliott is the best pure athlete on the Eagles.
Wow.
Scratch golfer, averages 200 in bowling, great tennis player. Oh, and he's really good at that kicking thing.
Yeah, not too shabby. Jeff Kerr is joining us from CBS Sports. He covers the NFL, covers the Eagles as well. He's on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line joining us here this morning. All right, so we always emphasize the quarterbacks and the offense. But from a defensive standpoint in this draft, Jeff, how many of these guys or which guys do you believe are game changers, whether they're edge rushers, whether they're linebackers, whether they're D-backs? Who in this draft that's going to go high is going to be difference makers? We're going to be talking about that for years to come in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one. Can I go Brock Bowers? I think he can be a difference maker. Depends on where he goes.
Yeah, but I'm talking about defense.
Defense. Oh, man, well, the first edge player is going to be taken is Dallas Turner. I'm pretty sure. You know what? I think one of the guys that's going to be a difference maker, and I didn't mock him high. I mocked him at 17 to the Jaguars. Give me Jared Verse from Florida State.
I love him.
Yep. That's the guy. That's the guy. I just watch him, and I'm like, and again, this is from a former pass rusher. I'm like, oh man, this guy got all the tools. Like he's got a great spin move. He can swim. He's got that excellent swim move off the edge. Like he can push up like one of those like hybrid guys inside, and he can just create havoc on the outside. If he could get to Jacksonville at 17, him and Josh Allen with Eric Armstead and Trayvon Walker in the middle. Oh man, is that going to be scary?
Yeah, I still cannot figure out how that dude started his college career at Albany. Like watching him at Florida State, I still understand how he was at Albany and how he was trying to block him at that level had to be a nightmare for kids doing that. The one other thing I was going to ask about the Eagles: why did they make the Kenny Pickett move?
I'm still trying to wonder that myself. Honestly, and look, I really feel it was. Okay, we got a guy we can develop. He's not going to be a threat to Jalen Hurts, and he's a cheap backup for 2 years instead of paying Marcus Mariota $6 million. And, I think they like Tanner McKee, their third-string quarterback, but I don't think they like them enough as a back. Tanner's a really good kid, by the way, but, the whole Kenny Pickett thing, his departure from Pittsburgh was so weird because you had a lot of the writers there that are basically mouthpieces for the Steelers organization just bashing him on the way out, and I'm like, okay, I'm sure this is true, but I love how Pittsburgh's trying to justify their own failed first-round pick by just getting rid of him in 2 years.
All right, so on Thursday night next week, 1 week from tonight, Caleb Williams is going to go number 1 to Chicago, but will that be the biggest story? Will there be a story on Thursday night next week? And I know you don't do speculation as far as, trades and things of that nature, but what could be the biggest story we talk about Thursday night next week?
I think it's going to be whoever drafts J.J. McCarthy and where he gets drafted. I just feel like that is the play that where Minnesota trades up for him or the Giants. By the way, I am secretly hoping the Giants are stupid and trade up for this guy because they don't need him. This is a guy they just do not need. Sit it out, let Daniel Jones play this year, and then go get your quarterback. That's just my opinion.
It's so interesting because Eli and I have been talking about that since they won a national championship, even before that, McCarthy's a good quarterback. We don't see what they see. And obviously, Jeff, you see what we see. That McCarthy is that's a roll of the dice right there. So I think you're right. I think somebody's going to move up. They're going to take him high. Wouldn't it be crazy, again, if one team goes up, moves up to take him, or one of the three, and it won't be Chicago, but the other two take him over a Daniels or over a Drake May? That would be absolutely mind-boggling. But we'll find out next Thursday.
But my fingers will be typing if that happens really fast because I got to do a reaction. I'll say that I will like J.J. McCarthy a lot better if he's picked like by the Broncos or by the Raiders and they don't trade up.
Yeah,
that would make sense. But for me, and again, I'm no draft savant. I don't think I know more than anybody else. I just see what I see, and I do not get it. I mean, or my running joke is he's so good he didn't have to throw a pass to beat a Power 5 college football team on the road last year.
Well, Jeff tells it like it is, as Howard Cosell once said. He tells it like it is. Jeff Kerr, NFL writer for CBS Sports, covering the NFL and the Philadelphia Eagles. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at Jeff Kerr CBS. Hopefully we can do it again, Jeff. We really appreciate you.
Guys, appreciate you having me on. It's always fun talking draft. One more week.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
Jeff.
Take care. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page with McCarthy. Maybe he'll prove us all wrong.
You know, he's what he said originally, like at more and more mock drafts that I look at, the number of quarterbacks in the first round just continues to grow. There's a lot of people now that believe that it's going to be 5 and possibly 6 quarterbacks in the first round, which to me makes no sense.
Well, I was looking at, like I said, I was going through different mocks to try to see, and I saw a couple where they had McCarthy going 3. So there's that possibility. I mean, he's turning heads for whatever the reason is. I mean, I don't remember earth-shattering passes from the video I saw of the combine. Was McCarthy throwing?
I believe he threw.
He wasn't he?
I can't remember if it was combine or if it was pro day.
Or yeah, it may have been pro day, and I was just like, okay. I mean, he seems like he's got a good, solid arm. There's no question about it. But you can go the complete other way when you try to. I don't want to make it sound like he's some bad quarterback. He's not. But you look at what Michigan did. They were mainly running the football. When he had to throw, you know, he was an accurate thrower, but it wasn't some guy that was making all the passes because he wasn't really doing that. He wasn't showcasing that. So sometimes we'll go the opposite when you're pro J.J. McCarthy to go, well, he didn't do that because he didn't have to do that, but he can do that. But wouldn't you rather have a guy who's proven that he can do that? Whether it's Daniels, who can make all the throws, and he's multidimensional. Drake May can certainly run as well, and he's got a big, strong arm. I mean, wouldn't you rather have those guys? Caleb Williams obviously is at the top of that group. But, again, that might be the startling thing that we see when it's all said and done. J.J. McCarthy being drafted in the top 3. We'll take a break, come back with more Sports 56 mornings right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
It's time to get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, where we're celebrating the 75th anniversary sales event, and it's time you got your new V-Dub on. Get ready to take your pick of 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice, $279.99 a month. Pick the right Volkswagen for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Sports. Or get 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SE for $33 $39.88. So get it done and be ready to ride at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road. Online, GossettVWG.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Crossport RC 23649, MSRP 38981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax on license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Hey Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month. Or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett, $28,350 or $379 a month. And adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett, $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460, Eclipse RZO 342249 MSRP 29350, Outlander RZO 43754 MSRP 33765, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still pretty heavy traffic volume right now. Trying to get in from Fayette County into Shelby as you come down the interstate here on 40 westbound. Sometimes it's pretty saturated there between, let's say, Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. It's cranking up now on Billmores Parkway coming inbound on 385 as you head up towards 240. A Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. They want to remind you, Mother's Day just around the corner. Come by and see them today and shop local at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
We were talking with Jeff Kerr from CBS Sports about the NFL draft, and you had brought up Jarrett Verse. He actually brought him up first, and that he played at Albany and then transferred, and he ends up at Florida State, and he's a star, and he's going to be picked in the first round somewhere. Speaking of Albany football, the tragic news from yesterday, as Albany defensive lineman A.J. Simon died at the age of 25, the school announcing it yesterday, but the cause of Simon's death wasn't immediately known. He was expected to be drafted somewhere in this upcoming draft next week. He was a 2023 All-CAA first-team defensive selection. He played the past 2 seasons for Albany, began his career at Bloomsburg University, a guy who went from the smaller divisions Then, with Albany, I think a 1AA and a 1AA power, and expected to be drafted. So certainly sad news with this young man, and they don't know what caused his death, his passing.
Yeah, certainly that is awful stuff. But yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine what Verse was like at that level. Like, I feel like he would have been unblockable. Like they could block him like at the highest D1 level, let alone when he was at Albany. There to be offensive line. Like, I'm supposed to do what? I'm supposed to block that guy?
I know. It's amazing how some guys over the years either slip through the cracks, or there's issues and maybe come up through the junior college ranks and they're dominating there, and then finally get their opportunity at a big-time program, or guys that just don't get the scholarship offers. We talked about Jonathan Adams. He got 3 offers. You got Arkansas State. You got Central Arkansas. I forget the third one he said. But it was nothing big, and he put up some big numbers, but he was overlooked. I'm not saying that was the case with Verse, but it may very well have been. Hey, what's going on at Colorado? Last year, the talk of the first half of the season, really the offseason and ever since he was hired, with Deion Sanders as head coach of Colorado, every single day during the college football season, it was all about Colorado. They started out like gangbusters. They were the talk of the town, and then they faded into oblivion and never made it even to bowl eligibility. Now you go into this offseason, and there's players coming in and players coming out like every program, but there seems to be a mass exodus of players from Colorado. What is the story?
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, this is, again, part of the experiment of Deion to see if this will work. Obviously last year was big because he basically had to change over the entire roster, or he did change over the entire roster. I have no idea if it's him kind of running these guys off or what it is. Certainly they've got some returning talent with his son and with Travis Hunter, but I don't know but it'll be interesting. It'll continue to be interesting as we see. Does he end up in the long run having success there or not?
The latest player to hit the portal, Colorado tailback Alton McCaskill. He will enter the portal with 2 years of eligibility remaining. He played just 4 games last year at Colorado before redshirting. Now, again, most of the guys that are hitting the portal now are players that are not projected to be starters or get the PT that they expect. But McCaskill was the American Conference Rookie of the Year. I think a lot of people remember him at Houston when he rushed for 961 yards, at 113 receiving yards, had 16 touchdowns, which led all true freshmen, and it set the Houston freshman record for rushing touchdowns. So he was huge. I remember him very well for Houston in the American Conference, and then I forgot about him. Well, went to Colorado, didn't play much, and now he's on the open market. I mean, that's a good running back. We talked about Down Hayden. These are good running backs that are available right now in the spring portal. Ryan Silverfield has said that there's not going to be much movement on his part as far as bringing in guys. He's lost a few this week, including a running back in Jay Ducker. I wouldn't be surprised if he brought in a player or two, but his roster's pretty set. But there are going to be other schools that will be more in need of players during this spring period. And what do we got? Another 10 days? It's a couple of weeks that you have this spring portal that opens up. And like I said, you're seeing names that are not necessarily the biggest names, but some guys certainly that can play the game. And we'll see what happens there. All right, we've been talking a lot about the draft, and we'll talk a lot more about it next week. It'll begin on Thursday. Go Thursday with the first round, Friday, rounds 2 and 3, and then Saturday, 4 through 7. So I'm reading a story here. I was looking at it during the break from USA Today. The 50 biggest NFL draft busts of the last 50 years. Who would you put as the number one overall biggest bust? Zach, you got a thought on that?
Jamarcus Russell.
Great choice. He's number 3 on their list.
He would be up there. Ryan Leaf would be up there.
Ryan Leaf is number 1. Ryan Leaf, friend of the show. He's been on with us before. Ryan Leaf is number 1, biggest bust. Number 2 is Tony Mandarich. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that one was a huge bust. Russell, you're right, Zach, about that. Jeff George, they have number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff George is not, I know he's number 1 overall, right? But Jeff George is not in Jamarcus Russell, Tony Mandarich, and Ryan Leaf's class as far as busts are concerned.
Is Lindell White on that list?
Let me roll down. I'll check on Lindell White. He played a little bit with the Titans, remember?
Yeah.
Number 5. Now, I don't understand how you put a guy in as a bust when he's still playing. Do you think it's fair to give the guy the bust status when he hasn't played yet? Like, he's on an NFL team. He just hasn't had the opportunity yet. Now, he was a high draft pick. He was the 3rd overall in 2021. I'm talking about Trey Lance.
To this point, he's been a massive bust, yes.
But if he's out of the league, I put him on the list. He's not out of the league yet. So I don't know. I put him number 5 overall.
As a 3rd-string quarterback, you're basically out of the league.
Okay. They have Zach Wilson right next to him. He's right after him. He was the 2nd overall in 2021.
I see that.
Is he one of the top 5 or 6 busts of all time? Justin Fields is right after that. Come on. What are we talking about here? There are a lot of guys
Fields
that were...
I would not put on the list. I mean Fields was
Mac
pretty
Jones. You got to give these guys some time. I think this is absolutely ridiculous with some of the guys they have on this list. Where would you put RG3? Heisman winner, 2nd overall, draft pick 2012.
Was he really a bust? Or
Yeah, he just got hurt. Like, he was really good. He just got hurt.
Right.
Yeah,
Mike Shanahan got him killed.
He won the Offensive Rookie of the Year honors while leading the Giants to the, not the Giants, but the Redskins to the NFC East title. I wouldn't put him on there. Chase Young, 2nd overall 2020, ends up in San Francisco this year with the 49ers, who come up short in the Super Bowl. Is he back with them?
No, he signed with who did he sign
Baltimore? Where did Chase Young sign?
Somewhere.
But again, he could be one of the biggest, but right now, no. Now here's guys. Remember Andre Bruce?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huge bust. They have on their list Mr. Bo Jackson. Are you kidding me?
Who came up with this list?
See, again,
This is USA Today. This is a reputable publication.
I mean, if you talk about injury, that's just an injury thing. Like, injuries happen.
But even
Especially
when he
football.
played out, I mean, we have the videotape of him, running over Brian Bosworth. Some great games that he played. He was a two-way guy playing with the Kansas City Royals as well. I know that has nothing to do with whether you're a bust or not in the NFL, but he was the 1st overall pick. Yeah, maybe higher expectations, but bust? No, I don't think so.
By the way, Chase Young is with the New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans Saints, thank you. Art Schlichter, 4th overall pick. That guy was a bust. And he also is obviously had all kinds of issues, jail numerous times, the gambling issues, the drug issues. Let me see who else is on the list here. So a lot of people from back when I was young that maybe people would not recognize. Josh Rosen, the chosen Rosen. He was 10th overall, but he was a bust. He's absolutely a bust, right? You're 10th pick overall, and you don't do anything.
Yeah. At the time, the Cardinals didn't really give him a chance.
Yeah, that's like he's one of those guys, and I don't know that he would have ever been any different, but he just got into a terrible situation. He's one of those guys that got drafted into a bad situation, and it just never worked out.
They have Sam Bradford on the list. 1st overall pick 2010 by the Rams. Bust? I'm trying to remember Bradford's longevity in the NFL. I know he dealt with injuries too.
Because he tore his ACL. I think he had a shoulder injury, as
Yeah,
well.
I would put a separate category for guys injured. Like, for example, with the NBA, and I know hindsight's 2020. Obviously, where they picked him was horrible, but the Portland Trailblazers with Sam Bowie and then with Greg Oden. I mean, yeah, you look back and you go, they were horrible picks, where they were picked, all that stuff. But injuries, to me, are a separate category than busts. Achilles Smith, he's 34th on the list. That guy should be way higher. 3rd overall for the Bengals. 4 seasons, he was 3-14. He had 5 touchdown passes and 13 picks in 4 seasons. He was the 3rd overall pick. Achilles Smith, they got at number 34. He should be way up there. Rick Meyer, remember him with Seattle? Out of Notre Dame? 2nd overall. Yeah, I think he was a bust. No question about it. But he's 38th on this list. They have Heath Schuler on this list. They have Mitchell Trubisky. Again, he's still playing. He was the 2nd overall in 2017.
Higher on the list.
Yeah, he's got to be higher than 39, but again, not done yet. Pretty much toast, but still actually active in the National Football League. Let me see if there's anybody else. Oh, Kajana Carter. Injuries prevented him. Penn State guy. 1st overall pick in 1995 by the Bengals. Speaking of the Bengals, Big Daddy Wilkinson, remember him? 1994. He was an average player. Let's see. They got Traylon Burks on here. Come on. Traylon Burks. One of the top 50 busts in the last 50 years. Give him a chance. He's getting his opportunity now, right? And then Jake Locker's on here. 8th overall for the Titans back in 2011. Okay. I mean, I guess you could put him on there, right? Top 10.
If that's the case, put Christian Ponder on.
He's right behind him. He is number 50, Christian Ponder, 12th overall, 2011 Vikings. So, Lendale White not on the list. Not on their top 50 list. So, anyway, that's interesting. I mean, there are a couple of guys like Achilles Smith that should be at the top with Jamarcus Russell, with Mandarich, with Ryan Leaf. But after that, injuries, it's hard to give them the moniker bust when injuries derailed a career that could have been really good.
Folks, it is breakfast time, and when you're thinking breakfast, one place in Memphis you need to think about is Sunrise. You can check them out at 2 locations, the original on Jefferson Avenue and the Sunrise East location on Poplar Avenue in East Memphis. When it comes to breakfast, of course, they've got their great biscuit sandwiches with their homemade biscuits, those big square biscuits, with maybe bacon, egg, and cheese, or sausage, egg, and cheese, or you can get the fried bologna, egg, and cheese, the P-Love, which is what I love. There's no doubt about that. That thing is absolutely fantastic. The kitchen sink or one of their breakfast bowls, all kinds of great things on that breakfast menu. Lunch menu, outstanding as well. Sandwiches and salads that you can enjoy in that lunch menu. If you're maybe thinking brunch and having a cocktail, well, they got plenty of cocktails. Actually, I was looking 6 different kinds of Bloody Marys that you could choose from. Plus, you got mimosas and many other different drinks that you could choose from on that drink menu as well. You can order online. If you go to sunrise901.com, you can order right there online and make it easy for you to stop in, grab your food, and be on your way for breakfast or lunch. Again, it is Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise East in East Memphis and online at sunrise901.com.
Parthu Pajai will join us in studio at 9:05. When we come back to wrap up hour number 2, we got some other news and notes from around the world of sports, including a big pickup for Ole Miss basketball. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Springtime is hot wing time, and time for the ultimate hot wing showdown at the World Championship Hot Wing Contest and Festival. Be there Saturday, April 20th at Memphis River Garden Park on Riverside Drive. See over 60 teams fighting for hot wing supremacy, along with live blues, soul, and rock and roll. All in support of the Ronald McDonald House. It's a sizzling day of fiery flavors, live music, and family fun, and you're invited. It's hot wing time in Memphis. Get your tickets now at worldwingfest.com. This is your delicious chance to make a difference. Mugshots Grill and Bar in Collierville is now open, and the ribbon cutting is April 25th. You could win free burgers for a year by following Mugshots on Facebook. Make sure to like, tag 2 friends, and share. One lucky winner will get free burgers for a year, a $675 value, no purchase necessary at Mugshots Grill and Bar, 656 West Poplar. Come by for half-price happy hour, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, with domestic drafts and $3 snacks. Mugshots Grill and Bar, now open in Collierville, and always having a good time.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Dodge Power Shot Day's last call, and that means it's time to get your best deal at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Feel exhilarated in 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4, $25,889 or $389 a month. And get yours before they're gone. 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $29,969 or $459 a month. And during Ram Truck Month, get 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab, $6,000 off MSRP. Plus 0% for 72 months on select models. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 75 months at 8.99%. Renegade Triple P 56520. MSRP 31095. Charger PH 651,421. MSRP 36420. Ram RG 193,472. MSRP 65,925. AP offer at 72 months. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Chris Beard, as is every coach, busy with the portal, bringing in new players at Ole Miss. And yesterday the news came down that he was able to get Dre Davis, who is a senior, I believe 1 year of eligibility remaining, who has 77 starts in his career and has scored 1,146 points. He comes from Seton Hall. He averaged 15 points per game last season. Good pickup for Chris Beard.
Yep, very good player.
Major League Baseball. I just saw this. I had no idea. So I'm looking at the standings in the American League East. Yankees 13-6, Orioles 12-6, Blue Jays, Rays, Red Sox 10-9. They're all over 500, all 5 of the teams. So Tampa at 10-9, 9 losses. 8 of those losses have come on blown saves by Pete Fairbanks. Did you know this?
I did not.
He has blown 8 of their 9. So think about how many more wins the Rays could have if not for their closer blowing saves like they're going out of style. 8 blown saves already this year. The team has 9 losses.
That's a tough start to the season.
Can you say in the market for a new pitcher?
Woj is reporting that according to his sources, that Jimmy Butler is expected to be sidelined for several weeks. It is a right MCL injury, which is what they thought it was. So obviously they will be without him for their chance to try and get in the playoffs with the play-in game against the Bulls on Friday. And even if they do get in, it looks like he will be out probably for the first round at least of the playoffs as well. So Heat without Jimmy Butler, that makes it very tough on the Heat. Now the Bulls Bulls have Alex Caruso, who also got hurt last night, that very well could miss tomorrow night's game. But Jimmy Butler, that is a massive, massive loss for Miami.
Now, I don't have these stats in front of me. I don't know this, right? But I can't wait for the story to come out. Now, I'm assuming those last few games, New Orleans I think they were playing for something meaningful. I'm trying to remember if Zion was playing in their final few games and if Jimmy Butler was playing in the final few games for Miami. But there's going to be, the story's going to come out going, okay, well, these guys got hurt in the postseason because either they played too much or they didn't play enough down the stretch. We're going to get one of those things. That story will come out because already that is significant names that have gone down in the play-in. An injury, it's just, again, injuries can happen anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter if you play 82 games or if you play 25 games. That next game you play, whatever it is, whenever it is, regular season, playoffs, there's no rhyme or reason, right? You can get hurt, and it's just unfortunate. Obviously, the Grizzlies know that firsthand this season. But that's rough. I mean, Zion, they give you the 2-week reevaluation. Well, or not reevaluation, but evaluation. No, that's right, reevaluation. They will be done. They'll be fishing by that time. I mean, this is going to be critical. We said yesterday, and we weren't alone, that if Philadelphia and Miami doesn't come out of these play-ins in the East, there's a problem. Something went wrong. Well, now
something went wrong.
Something went wrong. And, Sacramento could still win. I don't think they will. I'm sorry, New Orleans can still win. I don't think they will, even though they're playing at home. Like you said, they don't play well at home. But Zion was the guy. And with Ingram sort of still coming back from the injury, they didn't even play him. Willie Green didn't even play him down the stretch. He's going to have a bigger role if they are to beat Sacramento. And I didn't even think Sacramento played great in beating Golden State. Sabonis was good. He wasn't great. But these injuries, I mean, these are huge names. Jimmy Butler, Zion Williamson already to start the postseason.
Yeah, with this, I mean, it makes the Celtics should have a walk through the first round of the playoffs. It might be a walk all the way through the Eastern Conference, but now, the Bulls, I don't think have any chance in the Heat without Jimmy Butler. No chance against the Celtics.
No, they need playoff Jimmy, and Jimmy's not there. I mean, they're in big trouble. The one series that I cannot wait to see is Philadelphia and New York. And even though the Knicks are shorthanded, they still have firepower. But I think eventually Philadelphia is the team that's going to be the one that will get the best opportunity to knock off Boston. And that's assuming, again, Embiid stays healthy after coming back from his injury. But as far as intrigue, there's not going to be much. I think it's going to come down to either one of those teams, probably Boston. I think the West, at least, there's much more intrigue. But I still think it's like the Lakers, no chance to beat Denver. No chance. They got swept last year in the Western Conference Finals. Now they get them in the first round. Maybe they'll win a game. Maybe. But more than likely they won't. Folks, want to get charged up? You can come out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and test drive one of the new EV Blazers or any of their great vehicles. It's still Chevy truck season. If you're ready for a new Silverado, I see a lot of Silverados out there on the highways and byways of Memphis and the Mid-South. The Silverados, financing down to 2.9% for 72 months, plus thousands in cash and trade. That's a great deal at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, Mississippi. New Equinox and Trailblazers, 1.9% financing, and there's no payments on these vehicles for 90 days. If you want pre-owned, they have a lot of variety. Ram trucks, Jeeps, Tahoes, Suburbans, the Traverse with that third-row seating, military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers. You get an extra $500 bonus when you purchase a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Where are you going this summer? What are you driving in? That's the most important question. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be Olive Branch, Mississippi. Come on out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch today, or you can check them out online at allstarautogroup.com. When we come back, we're talking Memphis Tiger hoops. Never a dull moment. A lot of things happening, including schedule and portal news. Parth Upadhyay will join us from the Daily Memphian in studio. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Uncorn flavored Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky.
Uncorn flavored Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky.
Ball forward, take your base.
The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands.
Goodbye, home run.
Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited Ultimate and all the storage you need. Get the network you want on the iPhone you love, only on Verizon.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos, and enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99, and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition P, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
There's still a couple of spots out here where it's still pretty slow on 240 East up by Poplar, also on 40 westbound as you work your way from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. Again, that's been dragging in certain spots for the last 30 minutes or so out here. It's picking up with that volume in the Midtown area, especially northbound on 240 over here at Lamar. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:02 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. We're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Parth Upadhyay will join us in just a few moments. Tomorrow, packed show includes John Varlas, Brevin Knight, as I mentioned earlier, Colby Rogers, who just transferred from Wichita State to Memphis, and Rock Taylor from the Memphis Tigers football team, plus 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation, all coming up tomorrow on the program. It's currently 71 degrees. We're looking at 82 for a high today, but the bad weather is coming in, and it could be severe. We're talking about thunderstorms, gusty winds, small hail, all possible. Winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, and that rain and those thunderstorm chances continue into tonight and into the early overnight hours of Friday morning. Friday looks to be a cloudy day for the most part at 67 degrees. Hour number 3 of the program is brought to you by our friends at Jenkins Floors and More. If you need flooring, if you need carpeting, this is the place. Family owned and operated. They started from scratch back in their garage in Cleveland, Mississippi. They now have stores in Cleveland, Mississippi, in Little Rock, and a store at 6 East Commerce in Hernando, Mississippi. They're looking into the Memphis market as well. But Hernando is very close to anywhere in our listening audience, and they know that, right? Especially for those in Mississippi. If you are looking for that flooring and carpeting, looking for variety, and looking at a great deal, it's Jenkins Floors and More, because they sell it wholesale. They skip the middleman. That is going to save you lots of money. And here's what Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins do. They'll come out to see you. So right now, for people in Memphis or in Millington or in Olive Branch or wherever you may be listening to this show, you're looking at flooring and carpeting, they will come to you. They will give you a free estimate. They will bring you samples. And if you go with them, we're talking about a 2-week turnaround. They will get it completed by 2 weeks. SPC, WPC vinyls, which are scratch-resistant and waterproof, ceramic and porcelain tiles, hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet. Just some of the things they offer at Jenkins Floors and More. All military and first responders, you get 10% off. Sports 56 listeners ask about their family discount. And again, if you are a homeowner, but also if you are a company that is commercial and you're looking, obviously, for work on your carpets, work on your floors, this is the place to go because, again, you're getting the wholesale prices. It is Jenkins Floors and More. Time now to talk some Memphis Tigers basketball. We touched on it earlier in the show about the scheduling news from yesterday, but more on that and more on the recruiting and the portal news. We bring in our buddy Parth Upadhyay, who is the Tigers basketball beat writer for the Daily Memphian. I thought we were going to get him in studio. Instead, we get him on the phone, and it doesn't really matter as long as we have the velvet tones of Parth Upadhyay. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Appreciate y'all letting me audible here and get me on the phone.
No problem. Look, it's busy. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Never a dull moment when it comes to Tigers basketball. All right, let's start with the scheduling, and then we'll dive into the player acquisitions by Penny. Who else is who else they're looking at here to possibly join the roster? But yesterday, news that was good news, I think, all around for everybody, that Ole Miss and Mississippi State are on the schedule. It's been a while for Mississippi State. Ole Miss, they've played a lot, and as Eli pointed out, they should play every single year. Both those games this upcoming season will be at FedEx Forum, which is extremely important when you look at their schedule, knowing that there's a lot of non-conference games on the road. So overall, I think that was a big hit yesterday, hearing that news, Parth.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, 2 SEC opponents, 2 regional kind of foes, regional rivalries, if you will. A lot of graduates from those schools, obviously, as you guys know, in this city of Memphis. So definitely good, and you see the non-conference schedule starting to take shape. You got, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 10 of the 13 games accounted for. You know, we've seen at least 2 or 3 be bye games in the past. Last year, I think it was Jackson State, Alabama State, and Austin Peay, if I'm not mistaken, as the bye games. So I think it can be expected that these last 3 that we see break and we see come to fruition are going to be probably those type of games, less excitement, but they've got plenty of excitement and fireworks already on the schedule between the Maui Invitational. You know, we know that field's loaded. We know Mississippi State's in the fold, Ole Miss is in the fold, UNLV in Vegas, San Francisco on a neutral site, and then we've got the games that were already pegged. You know, the ones that they had signed a home and home for last offseason, being Clemson, this one on the road, Virginia on the road, and then Missouri returning the favor at FedEx Forum. So very exciting schedule, a lot of Power 5 opponents, and a lot of teams that are going to be, I think, NCAA tournament teams come next season.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, within the conference, there's probably not going to be much opportunity to battle teams, tournament-type teams. But, and again, I brought this up yesterday with Lunardi coming out with his way too early bracketology. But, if you look at that, which, I mean, I'm sure he nailed it this far in advance. He should have it all correct.
Exactly.
But, I mean, Mississippi State tournament team, Ole Miss was a bubble team. I think had his first 4 out. You have Clemson tournament team. Virginia, I think, was just one of his first 4 out. Like, all these are like bubble teams or tournament teams. And, so it's chances for, good quality wins that is really going to lack in the conference.
Yeah, no doubt. And even looking back at, I mean, obviously things change so quickly nowadays in terms of rosters and transfers and who comes and who goes. But looking at how those teams fared last year, I think aside from, maybe I think, was it Colorado or Chaminade or, one of those schools, obviously in the Maui Invitational that aren't so good, you look at the guaranteed games, I think UNLV might be the worst opponent that they have, right, in terms of the teams that are not a part of that Maui field. And UNLV was 73rd, in Ken Palm, finishing above Memphis. So, if not most tournament teams, then it's safe to say that even the ones that aren't going to be in the big dance are going to be at least, Ken Palm top 100 type opponents and are going to move the needle on the resume.
Well, it's a big challenge for Penny and the administrators at the University of Memphis because you have to play a daunting schedule. You just have to with this conference. And now with Florida Atlantic, in the situation they're in, losing Dusty May, losing some of their star players. Who knows if they'll ever be back to what they were 2 seasons ago or last season, at least the recognition they got nationally. They probably won't. So there's really not much in this conference that can help you. So you have to play a daunting schedule. You can't have what happened last year when he put together a daunting schedule and all those teams fell apart and it really hurt you in the long run. So you have to have a daunting schedule. The teams have to be good on that schedule, which will help as far as the metrics are concerned. And then you also have to have an appealing home schedule for the fans. And that's not the easiest right. And that's not the easiest thing to do. So Penny, who's reached out to probably everybody, Parth, is not going to be able to get home and homes with certain schools. It'll be interesting now with Kentucky, with Cal gone. Maybe if he goes to Kentucky with Mark Pope, and maybe they'll want to do it, but probably not, because they think they're holier than thou. But that's how hard it is for Penny to put together that type of schedule with those restrictions, yet he has done that. And that's one thing, and that's one area I don't think people can have a problem with what Penny has done.
No, not at all. And like you said, Greg, it's tough for a school like Memphis because, a lot of these teams that are in the Big 12 or in the Big East or in some of these power conferences, they don't want to play a team like Memphis because it can't, it can only hurt you, right? If you beat Memphis and Memphis is not ranked in the top 25 in the preseason, people look at it like, hey, it's a game you're supposed to win. If you're a Kentucky or if you're Tennessee or whoever who is in that top 25 going into the season, and if you lose to Memphis, it's a dinger. It's a dinger on the resume. So, kind of a lose-lose for those teams. It looks like to them. So yeah, I mean, definitely Penny's done a hell of a job getting the Missouris, getting the Clemsons, the Virginias, the Ole Misses on the schedule, and I think especially those regional ones are both good in terms of resume boosts because Ole Miss has got something cooking with Chris Beard, Mississippi State with Jans over there, they're looking good, but also with just interest, like you said, getting people in FedEx Forum and even getting people to make that short 3-hour drive to Oxford or whatever it may be, or sorry.
Yeah, it's a Starkville, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because when you turn around and have those games on the road, it's easy trips for fans to make to those places to see games. We did have a texter was asking if Memphis has attempted to get traditional rivals like Louisville or Cincinnati on their schedule. Do you know if those are if there have been any conversations with either of those?
Yeah, with Louisville, I'm not sure about this offseason, but I know in the past couple of years there had been conversations, but when that program kind of bottomed out under Kenny Payne, Memphis is the one who backed out of those talks or kind of cooled off on that because
there would not
there was nothing to gain, right?
Yeah, there'd be nothing to gain from playing that.
Yeah, if you slip around and lose that, it's kind of like it's an embarrassment a little bit to lose to a team like Louisville, or at least the team it was the past 2 seasons. And if you win it, it does nothing for you. So I can totally understand why they backed off there. But hey, now with Pat Kelsey, maybe in a year or two, we see that program kind of get to a place of respectability, if not better, and those talks can kind of reemerge. That'd be great, I think, for Memphis to get those type of games on the schedule. That, Arkansas, and we've talked about the Ole Misses, Mississippi State, Kentucky would be great. Any of these schools that kind of have a history, obviously, with University of Memphis would be fantastic, I think, to load up the non-conference slate with.
Well, Arkansas ain't going to happen now. You can forget about that with John Calipari.
You can try, right? You can make the call.
Oh, he will. I guarantee he'll make the call.
With the fact that Cincinnati obviously was just in the conference, just left the conference, do you know if there has been any contact with Cincinnati about trying to get that?
Yeah, that one I'm not sure about. Even with the teams that were in the conference, I mean, we've seen it's tough, right? Like, Kelvin Sampson seems to be asked about this every time he comes to Memphis, and his answer is pretty much the same. Like, hey, our schedule's hard enough as it is. He doesn't really care to add a scrappy Memphis team in December, November, when he's got to play, in the freaking Big 12 come January. So I think Cincinnati probably thinks the same way, and so do a lot of these other schools, Tennessee included. But it'd sure be nice to see Cincinnati back on the schedule, that's for sure.
Parthu Bajai is joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. All right, so, again, we know the situation. Last year, they took care of business non-conference, stumbled in the conference, and ended up not making the NCAA tournament. Now, and I go back to what Eli just said, as we talked about yesterday on the show, Lenardi's way too early bracketology, having Memphis as an 11 seed, tells me that he goes, well, Memphis is getting the automatic because they're going to win the conference tournament, and they should, because there's not too many obstacles, even though they finished tied for 6th this past season. But it also tells me that they're going to lose some non-conference games. And again, that puts the pressure on not only trying to get to the tournament, which they're trying to return to, but to be a decent seed in the tournament so they can advance or have a better chance to advance. So it puts the pressure again on a team that is going to be completely new, like it was last year, to go out to Maui and do damage, to beat these teams that we just talked about, to go to Clemson and Virginia after beating them here and trying to turn around and beat them again, but this time on the road. I mean, that's a lot of pressure because, again, once you get to the conference, now, God forbid you stumble, you're done. But I would assume that it'll be a lot different this year, and maybe I shouldn't assume. But even running roughshod over the opponents in this division, in this conference, makes no difference. It makes no difference if you stumble in the non-conference because you're not going to get ranked. You're not going to be a great seed, even if you win the conference tournament championship and get the AQ, which you're expected to do. So there's all types of pressure, and again, puts the pressure on Penny to assemble a team that not only is talented, but has chemistry. And last year, chemistry was a problem. Talent wasn't. This year, it looks like Parth, and we've talked about it before on the show, that he's being very deliberate in the guys that he has brought in. So for those who don't know, give us an update on who is committed to Memphis, one of them being Colby Rogers, who's going to be with us on the show tomorrow, and then we'll talk about some of the other players that are in the mix.
Yes, obviously P.J. Haggerty was the big splash they made early. This is, 2-3 weeks ago. That was the first guy they got out of the portal, the point guard from Tulsa, who's going to be a redshirt sophomore with 3 years eligibility left, which is just fantastic when you're getting a player of that caliber who can stick around. If he doesn't make kind of NBA waves there, doesn't have the type of season that allows him to go pro right away. So you've got him in the fold. Dane Danger, the center from Illinois, played a larger role 2 seasons ago, but kind of saw his role diminish this season with the style of play there change. And we can talk about that some more in terms of fit and how that looks for Memphis, because he was a guy that when Brad Underwood in Illinois decided to speed things up and go up and down, in terms of their offense, was played off the court, if that makes sense, was reduced to a smaller role because he couldn't keep up in that kind of playing style. So we'll see how that fits at Memphis. And now we've got Colby Rogers, a Wichita State shooter who hit 99 three-pointers last year for the Shockers. Broke a program record, shot 41% from three, so it's not like he was just launching them up willy-nilly. He was hitting a lot of those, of course. Greg, to your point, it seems like they're definitely, instead of just kind of seeing how much talent they can possibly get through the door, they're filling roles. They've identified, hey, we need a point guard. That's the highest priority. So they got P.J. Haggerty. They got Dane Danger to fill some of the holes in the front court. They got Colby Rogers to add shooting, which we thought they had it last season, but obviously Jaquan Walton didn't have the year that many of us thought he would. Jonathan Pierre, also considered a shooter coming in, played a diminished role, so the shooting just wasn't there, and they've kind of checked some of those boxes early. Obviously, long way to go with just those 3 guys in the fold, and in terms of the portal, and Jared Harris, Nicholas Jourdain, and then you're waiting on David Jones. So, you got 3 transfers, you got 1 returnee who said he's going to be back in Jourdain, and you've got Jared Harris. So that's 5, 8 more spots to go. A lot of work to be done.
To say the least.
And there were supposed to be a couple visiting this weekend, right? But are those postponed or something?
Yeah, so John Buggs III, the shooter from North Texas, 45% three-point shooter, was supposed to be on campus today and tomorrow. That has been postponed, I was told yesterday. And then Arturo Dean was the Florida International transfer who was supposed to be here last weekend, got his visit postponed once already, supposed to be yesterday and today, but that has also been postponed, I was told, late yesterday. So, I don't know. A lot of the time, as you guys know, postponement's a fancy word for not happening, when it comes to these visits. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe Memphis lands some guys this week, and, they don't need Buggs and they don't need Dean, but, it's kind of early to say now how those things turn out. They did have, I hope I'm pronouncing his first name right, Davon or Devon. You guys might know. He's a Memphis kid, Barnes, out of Sam Houston State, the guard.
I thought it was Devon, but I'm not. I'm not
Is
sure.
Is it Devon? Okay.
I
know he's
so,
a local
but
kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the point being that I think you're absolutely right about what you just said about those 2 players who canceled their visits. To me, that tells me they have other opportunities. They're looking elsewhere. I doubt we hear about rescheduled visits. Maybe it'll happen, but Arturo Dean, that's really twice, right? Because he was supposed to be here last weekend, like you said, then this week. So 2 cancellations. I doubt you're going to see that guy coming and visiting Memphis, but you never know. What about anybody else that's on the horizon, especially when you look at this team? Dane Danger, one guy, is not going to cut it. They need to get 2, 3, 4 bigs. Jourdain, obviously, but he's not the big I'm talking about. I'm talking about the big physical monster inside. Are there any guys on the horizon that fit that bill?
That's the thing that's been interesting to me, even as somebody who covers and follows this closely, is that we've seen Memphis's name attached to a lot of guards, a lot of wings, a lot of shooters, right? We haven't seen their name attached to many bigs. I think there was that Washington State kid that surfaced last week, but that's really been it. If you look, Dane Danger, his process moved so quickly that we don't even know, kind of who else was targeting him. But aside from those 2 names, I certainly haven't seen Memphis reach out to any bigs. Maybe it's a kind of wait and see approach. There's, they're looking at it like, hey, there's not a lot of a lot of talented sides in the portal now, which is going to change, right? Like we've got a month until the NBA draft withdrawal deadline. I believe that's late May. So you're going to see a lot more guys enter the portal now. I mean, you think it's north of 2,000 right now. It's going to get even larger, that talent pool. So I think as long as Memphis here gets, I want to say 2 or 3 more players before end of the month, like they're already ahead of schedule compared to where they were last year, and then you can kind of add the rest, come late May, early June. But the main key is to get this all sorted out before late June, in my opinion.
They are ahead of schedule from the last couple of summers, if you recall, players that they were getting late in July, late in August. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
With David Jones, I assume we won't hear anything until after the draft process plays out?
Correct, yeah. I mean, he hasn't spoken publicly to us here in Memphis media, of course, but he had that interview with the Dominican Republic show, or Dominican show rather, about a month ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago or so, where he said basically that he wanted to see what was out there in terms of his pro prospects, pro possibilities. But he did say if the money wasn't there that he'd be looking to come back. So I thought that was a very encouraging sign because we haven't seen him on mocks, right? And if he's looking for big guaranteed money, he's not really going to get that as a two-way guy. He can probably make more or the same, here at Memphis that he could with NIL, that he could, at the pro level as a two-way player. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I don't think we'll hear, anything on that until at least late May, early June.
You always expect the unexpected when it comes to Memphis basketball. You never know when news will hit. But so far, it's been quiet as far as the staff is concerned. I don't want to look at it one way or another and say that everybody is going to be back or there's going to be moves made. But so far, it's been quiet.
It has been quiet. Probably a little bit too quiet, right? You would think, for Memphis at least. It is important to note that a lot of these guys' contracts run till the end of April. So
okay,
if you're not hearing anything now, I would expect to hear some stuff at least in early next month, early May. I've been told, and I know others have reported as well, in this city that can expect some big time changes. I don't know, exactly what that means or kind of who's in and who's out yet, but definitely going to be a new look staff I would expect around Penny Hardaway.
I saw that Javon Quinterly is going to Portsmouth.
He's going to Portsmouth, yes. He's following, obviously, Kendrick Davis and DeAndre Williams, who played in the event last year. That was really good for KD, as we know. He excelled there, excelled at the G League Combine, excelled at the Real Draft Combine, and didn't get picked, but, of course, earned a two-way and has been killing it there, or killed it there, rather, before the season ended. So we'll see if Javon can kind of follow that path.
Malcolm Dandridge. Is that getting buried, that story? What I can't believe. There's been investigations. I think the Kennedy assassination investigation was quicker. No, seriously, what have we heard anything more on that?
Man, it's been quiet on that front. Almost, kind of weird, right? Like it was a big deal in late February, early March, and then the season ends and it kind of disappears. And the last of anything we've heard publicly on that is Malcolm Dandridge's Instagram post, if you recall that.
I do.
After the loss to Wichita State. So yeah, that's been interesting. You would hope if you're Memphis that this feet dragging or whatever it is doesn't come back to bite them, right? You'd hate to see something, and I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying you'd hate to see something come to light closer to the season and having to deal with that while trying to get a very, very, very pivotal season underway.
Well,
for the Tigers.
If the NCAA isn't a calling, then I'm not worried about it, right? I let this thing drag out forever, and I don't think they are, at least not that I've heard that they are going to. So, I mean, that's one of those deals where we may never find out. We may never get a resolution. They say that they had been investigating, but it's been a couple months now, right? So or at least it feels that way. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's coming up on 2 months here in April. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see if something comes of that. All right, well, Parth will have you covered at the Daily Memphian on all things Tigers basketball because there will be a lot more information coming out, a lot more moves that have to be made. And again, make sure to follow him on Twitter. I'll spell it out for you at PUPADHYAYA_. He's Parth Upadhyay. He's the Tigers basketball beat writer for the Daily Memphian. As always, my friend, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
Talk soon. We will take a timeout. Come back with more right here on Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777. Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
All 650 acquisition P, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like, I couldn't do pull-ups. I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back to Family Leisure Studios, 9:31 the time. Earlier we were talking about Caitlin Clark a little bit, and we got a text from David. He said, what was the whole Greg Doyle deal at her interview yesterday? But that's a great question.
He's a strange cat, isn't he?
It was an all-time high creepiness level at a press conference. That's all I could say. That was weird.
Have you seen the video? I've only read the transcript. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen her.
Okay, so you
don't see him.
Okay, so you don't see him. Okay, because supposedly, he's asking a question and he says, Greg Doyle, Indy Star, real quick, let me do this, and he does the heart hands gesture.
Yes, which she does all the time.
Right, and she says, "You like that?" And Doyle said, "I like that you're here. I like that you are here." And she said, "Yeah, I do that to my family after every game. Pretty cool." Doyle, "Well, start doing it to me, and we'll get along just fine." What?
And then everybody in the room, I think, probably went, huh? Huh? Sure, her face was like, huh? What? Like, what? Like, I just don't even...
Because if you don't do it to me, baby, I'm going to come at you with attack stories.
Like, and he apologized on Twitter, and I guess he wrote a column, kind of apologizing. I haven't read the column yet, but, he said, today in my uniquely oafish way, while welcoming Caitlin Clark to Indy, I formed my hands into her signature. My comment afterward was clumsy and awkward. I sincerely apologize. Please know my heart, literally and figuratively, was well-intentioned. I will do better.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't know, what angle, I don't know what he was trying. That it came off, again, really creepy and weird. I don't know how he thought it was going to come off. One of those things, he probably should have thought a little bit better. I don't know where he thought this was going to go and how it was going to make sense.
He's been around for a long, long time. And I'm sure he'd be the first one to write about somebody who becomes like a fanboy or a fangirl of a certain athlete. And you know those reporters, they're out there. Some are quasi-reporters. You wonder why they're even allowed in interviews and why they're allowed in press conferences. And they just swoon over the person that they're trying to ask a question to, and they end up making a statement as opposed to a question. He knows better than that. He did this on purpose. He planned this thing out. I mean, he was going to do the heart thing from the beginning. Some of the responses.
Well, that's obvious. I don't think he just accidentally did it.
No, I think it was like when he apologizes, he's really not. I don't think he's apologizing because people are reacting the way they are reacting to him. He probably didn't think no big deal. I was doing the heart gesture, but it's the creepiness level that is obvious. So some of the reaction, this comes from Emily Block. I'm not sure if she's a reporter or not. Just remember, this male reporter was comfortable enough to say this to a 22-year-old celebrity in front of all his peers during a live press conference. As part of his job, he gets paid for. And we wonder why so few women are in sports journalism or journalism leadership roles. What do you think?
Again, there's a lot of people that came out. It was an extremely creepy, weird exchange. He very much should be criticized for it.
This comes from another.
Doing the heart thing is one. Whatever. If he wanted to do that, but I still understand the do it to me and we'll get along just fine. I don't understand what he was trying to say there.
I think he was trying to be funny, but he wasn't. This comes from another woman. This is beyond inappropriate. The really sad thing is athletes in the WNBA have been fielding inappropriate questions from media members for years. Media in quotes, because anyone who does this is not a professional and deserves their credential pulled. This is disturbing.
My initial reaction to that, because again, like you said, when they showed the video, they don't see his hand gesture or whatever.
Yeah, right.
I thought he was giving her the bird for a second. I was like, huh?
Why would you think he's giving her the bird?
I don't know. It was already confusing. So I'm just thinking and she was like, oh, okay. I was like, because knowing Caitlin, she was like, oh, okay. I guess you like that, huh? I'm like.
Now that would be funny. Like you're just at a press conference. The reporter's like, over here, I got a question. Flips the person off. Oh, there you go. Well, that's a good start. We're gonna. The thing is, like, again, at the beginning, like, again, him just doing the heart thing, she didn't have a problem. It was just like, again, that last comment when he just says, "Do it to me," and we'll be like, that when she, like, the look on her face was like, what? What does that mean? I do it to my family. Like, I don't like. What do you mean? Do it to you? Like, what the hell is that all about?
I think he was trying to be funny, and it seemed like a creepy dork. That's what he seemed like. I mean, that's the way he's trying to instantly react to what she said. Yeah, hey, do it to me. We'll be fine, just fine. I think he was trying. I don't know the guy, but he is not without controversy. Greg Doyle's a good writer. He's actually a good writer and well respected in that sense. But he's gotten into hot water for things before because I've heard his name and read his name too many times. The guy's from the Indianapolis Star. He's not the New York Times, or the Washington Post.
He used to be national.
I understand.
I understand. Sports, and he's had his addiction issues, and he's had he's very open about things he's had in his life.
But he's going after athletes or coaches, like personal vendettas against them. He's that kind of. That's why I'm saying he knew exactly what he was saying, and he was trying to be funny on the flip side there. But we live in a whole different world, and it was creepy. With a capital C. I mean, should the guy lose his privileges? No. And the guy's actually a good journalist. He's a good writer. I've read some of his stories. But from a creepiness level, this is a 10. I mean,
it's about 1,000.
Well, I'm going with a 10 for the highest you can get is a 10.
No, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was 1,000. Again, you say like, do it to me.
He's
like
trying to be
like when she says that something that she does to her family, and you say, "Start doing that to me."
Right, like he's a big deal, or hey, just trying to be funny, and that was his reaction. I think it was still stupid. It was stupid. It was creepy. But we can move on from it, right? I mean, it's not the worst thing ever said by a male to a female. And
that's the sad part.
Yes,
that is the sad part about it.
Well, that's what what the reaction was when I was reading some of the social media tweets on X.
And the thing is, and a lot of the female journalists have brought this up. Like, this is the thing. Like, now, because it's Caitlin Clark. Like, there are going to be a lot of new people, men, who are going to be covering the WNBA and her in particular, and evidently people like Greg Doyle don't know how to have a simple interaction with the woman athlete because they haven't had to do it. Now they've got one they've got to cover, and they need to just figure out, as I think Dana O'Neill said, if you just think through your head, if you wouldn't make a heart at Victor Wembanyama, maybe don't make one at Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, but I've also listened to so-called female reporters talking to a particular athlete and saying, "We love you." I mean, I've heard that before. I'm like, what is going on here? A lot of outlets, not a lot of outlets, but a lot of, whether it be the Super Bowl, whether it be whatever teams it may be, a little bit tougher, I think, with teams, but some open up their credential policy to a lot of outlets that really don't deserve it, and it's questionable. So it goes both ways, but it's going to be much, much worse now because, again, you have, like you said, males covering a female sport where they're not used to dealing with female athletes, and it's ridiculous. I mean, if you're a professional journalist, you'll be able to treat everybody fairly and with respect, and unfortunately, that won't be it. Now, most people will. There will still be some that will say something stupid or cross the line. But they are getting ready for an influx of reporters, male and female, covering the WNBA. Quite frankly, male or female, there was nobody covering the WNBA. It was very few and far between. Now it's going to escalate, and that's a good thing for them. But people got to be able to handle their own selves in an appropriate way. And he certainly wasn't able to. All right, we'll take a timeout, come back, wrap it up. Final segment. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month, or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $28,350 or $379 a month, and adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460 Eclipse RZO 342,249 MSRP 29,350 Outlander RZO 437.54 MSRP 33,765 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Sheldon, we've worked together for over 20 years, and we have sold a lot of homes in that time.
That's right. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with Melanie Simpson, and we're with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. Melanie, I've represented numerous buyers and sellers and always strive to do a good job for whomever I represent.
Sheldon, I know you do, except your golf game is horrible because you spend so much time taking care of your clients. I even heard that you tend to hit people with wayward golf shots.
Only 2 or 3 times, and they're all out of the hospital now. Like I always say, if you're thinking of selling a home, talk to 2 or 3 real estate brokers and make sure I'm one of them.
And if someone needs to fill up a foursome, don't call you?
That's right, and find out why people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn.
You can reach Shell Dunn Rosengarten or me, Melanie Simpson, at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now. That's 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. And
Go Tigers!
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet peculiar peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finish with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes, or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails, like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. We can't wait to serve you.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. What a great time to buy a new or used car or truck and save money at Sunrise. The largest selection in over a year, over 500 new Buicks and GMCs to choose from, an $8 million used car inventory. See them all at sunrisememphis.com. Factory rebates up to $6,000 and Sunrise discounts high as $10,000. Immediate financing available with loans low as 0% on select models. Cars and trucks under $10,000. When it comes to selection and savings, it doesn't get any better than this, partner. Come on in and save some money at Sunrise. Coming to Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
It's the Dodge Power Shot Day's last call, and that means it's time to get your best deal at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Feel exhilarated in 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4, $25,889 or $389 a month. And get yours before they're gone. 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $29,969 or $459 a month. And during Ram Truck Month, get 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab, $6,000 off MSRP. Plus 0% for 72 months on select models. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 75 months at 8.99%. Renegade Triple P 56,520. MSRP 31,095. Charger PH 651,421. MSRP 36,420. Ram RG 193,472. MSRP 65,925. AP offer at 72 months. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
This was nice from Boogie Ellis, who went on social media today and posted this. Trojan family, USC logo. I want to express my appreciation for all the coaches, teammates, support staff, and fans who made my time at USC an amazing experience. After 3 years of unforgettable memories, I am declaring for the 2024 NBA Draft. I also want to thank the staff and fans at Memphis for supporting me in my 2 seasons there. Lastly, thank you to my family for helping me chase my dreams. Fight on, Boogie Ellis, number 5. So my question is this, and it was nice. Again, he's thanking Memphis and USC. He played 3 years at USC. He played 2 years at Memphis. He played 5 years. Did he just do this just to do it? But he said, I'm declaring for the NBA Draft. I don't think you technically have to go on social media and declare for the NBA Draft. If you've used your eligibility, you would be draftable if he's good enough to be draftable. So did he have a 6th year remaining? Could he have taken another year? Is that even... Who knows anymore, right? And I believe this 24-25 year is going to be, or season is going to be the last year for COVID. But just the way it's worded, it seems like, yeah, I'm declaring for the NBA Draft. I could have come back, but I'm going to the NBA. Maybe going to the NBA. We'll see.
He could declare just to go play overseas.
But, I mean, you got to declare. If you're out of eligibility, do you have to declare? He
probably had a year of eligibility left, yeah. I mean, these guys all have their, the COVID years, all that stuff. Like, we're getting to the end of it, but they're still out there.
Yeah, but it was only 5 to play 4, right? And then you had COVID is basically 6 to play 4 or 5. But this would be 6 full years of playing, of actually playing. Then again, we talk about football guys who, like Frank Harris, the old quarterback at UTSA, was 7 years, but he was banged up for a couple of those years. Ellis has played 5 full seasons. So anyway, good luck to Boogie Ellis.
Since we brought up the weird, dumb comments of Greg Doyle, I was reading this story on the vote for the Senate, the bill that's going to approve the financing basically for the FedEx Forum renovations, which that the bill or the vote was, I guess, delayed yesterday. So they did not have it. I think this is just a political thing. Like, no, I don't think that it's an issue. It's just they delayed the vote or whatever. And Brent Taylor, who is the senator.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
With one of the all-time quotes. Which I love. Like this was the last thing I was expecting from a politician about this vote being delayed. The quote, I'm reading it right out of the Daily Memphian. A lot of people in Memphis have worked on this legislation. I mean, they have worked harder than a bunch of ugly strippers to try to get this done.
It's like he knows firsthand.
I mean, I had to do a double take. I was like, wait, did I just read that correctly? Like, did he really, like, that's
I saw that yesterday.
That's his quote on this thing? Like, I don't even know. I just give you a round of applause for coming with that. Like, of all the things that I would have thought a politician, how they would describe the work being done on a bill, I never would have guessed somebody would say they've worked harder than a bunch of ugly strippers to get it done.
Can you leave the ugly strippers alone,
right.
Brent?
Like, why can't they just be pretty, man? Why they got to be ugly?
Because
He's saying they're not
the pretty
getting the
ones
money.
don't have to work hard.
Yeah, they get the money because they're pretty.
But the
ugly
pretty ones don't have to work hard.
Yeah, they got to work hard just to get a buck, man.
But
They
the
work
pretty
hard
ones
for
get
that
all the
money.
though.
Huh?
So the pretty ones get all the money though.
Exactly.
Of course.
Because
That's
they
the
don't
point,
have to
yeah.
work to get it.
It's all in the eye of the beholder, though.
He's talking about how hard they've worked.
Yeah, the ones that aren't, let's just say, attractive, may not have the men, sometimes women, around them, giving them money for, what they do and their activities and dancing and things of that nature.
Right.
So they got to work harder to bring in the dineros. She works hard for the money, as the late great Donna Summer once said. And the ugly ones work harder for the money, apparently, according to Brent. Was it Brent Taylor?
Yes.
Well, they have to put one heck of a show to get that done.
Kudos to Brent for that quote.
And then he ended the quote with "whoop that trick," right?
SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, has agreed on a new lucrative multi-year contract extension with Converse. His first signature shoe will be released in 2025, and he has the title of Creative Director of Converse Basketball.
Wow.
Is there anybody else where, like, does Converse have anybody else in the NBA?
Yeah,
Like,
Chuck Taylor still wears them.
Like, I honestly didn't even know Converse was still making shoes. I'll be honest. I thought Converse was done.
I hope they made them better from when I was a kid with the Converse Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, there's still a handful of players that wear Converse.
Who else? Who's wearing Converse?
You got Cam Reddish, PJ Tucker, Jordan Clarkson, Draymond is with Converse, De'Aaron Fox.
Really?
Yeah. Emmanuel Quickly.
So how many companies are there now that
I had no idea.
How many companies now are there that make shoes that players use? How many different companies are we talking about? Say it out loud.
Nike, Adidas.
Nike,
Puma?
Adidas,
Puma?
Converse. Puma.
Puma makes basketball shoes or just soccer? I'm talking about that pro athletes wear.
Yeah.
Converse, Nike, Adidas,
Puma,
New Balance.
New Balance. How about Reebok?
Reebok's gone, right? Like, tell me Reebok's
I had to sit and
still
think
doing
about
shoes.
it for a
If Reebok has had to be gone, right?
Did Under Armour ever make shoes?
Yeah.
Yes, Under Armour makes shoes. Steph.
Yeah, Steph got
Curry.
his signature
Okay, so
shoe.
Under Armour, that's at least 6, right?
Tell me Reebok's still not making the pump. That's what I wore in high school. We had the Reebok pumps.
Reebok still makes shoes, but it's for.
Wait till Skechers gets involved.
I thought
in basketball shoes.
Reebok and Converse are still both making shoes.
Yeah, they still making shoes.
I thought they had gotten bought up by like Nike or something.
Did you say New Balance? Isn't
Yeah.
that so?
New
Basketball
Balance.
shoes too? I thought it was just runners.
No. Kawhi Leonard has New Balance.
New Balance is.
So that's about 8 companies we've just talked about. Wow.
Yeah, Reebok is still in effect.
Like, tell me, are NBA players wearing Reeboks?
Montrezl Harrell has a shoe, not a shoe, but he's sponsored by Reebok.
Oh, he's sponsored. But
He's sponsored by him, but they don't have a shoe. Well,
I don't think he has a signature shoe. Reebok is mostly for the NFL and UFC, but Lexi Brown with the WNBA is with Reebok.
So they make basketball shoes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hopefully it's the pumps. Hopefully they're still doing the pumps.
It's more companies than I thought involved with professional basketball players, whether it be NBA or WNBA.
Of course, Converse, I have a special relationship with Converse because my days back in grade school, we finished second in the state, and Jack Sigma gave our entire team Converse shoes.
Why? What's the connect? Did he go to your school?
No, he's from the town.
He is?
Yes.
Wow. Who knew that? Now we know.
I did.
Well, I know, but
And
now
a lot of people that live there.
But haven't you? I brought up Chuck Taylor twice. You kind of like shrugged it off. You don't remember Chuck Taylor's?
Yeah.
Oh, you do remember it. Okay. I mean, you're too young to remember that, right, Zach? The Chuck Taylors.
Chuck Taylors? Yeah, I am.
And
But I know they released them.
Hipsters today still love wearing Chuck Taylors.
By the way, who the hell was Chuck Taylor? I mean, I assume he was a basketball player of some sort, but we're going to get the bio here before we say goodbye of Chuck Taylor. I don't know why I've never looked that up. I mean, his name is synonymous with basketball shoes. From the past mostly, but you had no protection around your ankle.
Yeah, I'd say he's not synonymous with basketball shoes today. Yeah. you say the name Chuck Taylor to basketball players today, they go,
no,
who?
But they probably remember through just conversations with people, like jokes. Like, yeah, my grandfather used to wear the Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, so Chuck Taylor was a basketball player.
Yeah, I figured that, but like when? Like the 50s? 60s?
In the
ancient Egypt.
He began his career in 1919. So
1919. Okay, all right.
But
we get ended there.
He turned into a salesman and started selling his shoes.
Okay, so that's what he put his name on his own. So he was the first signature shoe, probably the Chuck Taylor. Wow. That'll do it for us today. I want to thank Jonathan Adams of the Showboats, Parthu Panjai from the Daily Memphian, and Jeff Kerr from CBS Sports for joining us. Tomorrow, to end the work week, we got a busy Friday show. John Varlas will talk Grizzlies and NBA playoffs with Brevin Knight. Colby Rogers, who has just transferred to Memphis from Wichita State, he is scheduled to join us at 8:30. We are scheduled to be joined by Rock Taylor, Memphis Tigers wide receiver, at 9:05 tomorrow, plus 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation.
Get out there and work harder than an ugly stripper today. Get some stuff done.
It's going to be hard to do so, but we'll give it the old college try. Well done, friends, on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.